Wave. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat freak with the bare face and a slick tongue, that's what she say. She look good, she a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back. She bring that my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James off the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his fade, then you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show needed passport, cause the beat bounced to the cap torn. Feel like I live it and fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Spoke how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did jump up a couple figures. But like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill, the space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave.
No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave where everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave where everything we say turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face as I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Lost in imagination. She only want me when she fake. She quick to tell me I'm a favorite. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, so they never slowing me down. Heart rate jumping like you don't sleep well. How you switch up, you always help me down. Wonder why I turn into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's malice. Squad with me, God, cut us from the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave where everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the slums with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on a wave where everything I'm saying turn into the real thing.
going on, family? Welcome to King Talking on Lapeef Network. Let me introduce the crew. We got Ricky Williams, Chicago Rilla, Trill, Shan, Mr. Let Go, Sir Rashawn Ali, Humble Dad, King Rio, and me, myself, I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talking on Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Peace.
What up?
What the business is? That's Quest joint right there.
Yeah, it is. It's my bad. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? Mic sound low.
Solid.
Let Go got that hot mic, boy.
I got a hot mic.
I was muted. What's up, everybody? What's up, B? Rio, HD.
How y'all doing? For some reason my mic sound funny. How it sound? Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you
Sound
sound
all right.
On regular, G.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to see you gentlemen here. This should sound weird.
You sound the same to us.
I know, but something sounds like it's an echo or something. Let me make sure I don't have no effect on it. Some sound weird. Could just be me. I'll try to correct it, man. Anyhow, my apologies. Good to see you gentlemen again. For the people that's tuning in, welcome to King Talking to Lapeef Network. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley. Philly Teej, uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Humble Dad, see you sporting a new look, man. See the glasses?
Oh yeah, just for tonight. You know what I'm saying? I gotta switch it up every now and then.
Yeah.
Where you at? The bathroom? Is that a shower curtain?
Ricky, we starting? Just listen. If it's a real question, I answer it. If it's a shot, then I gotta hit back. So you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm in the bathroom. You can't hear the echo?
Man, for Humble Dad, you in the bathroom?
Yes. For this evening, I'm gonna be in the bathroom. Yeah.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Sometimes that's the safest place to be, man. Anyhow, man, let's go to get this show started, man. Again, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Rio, you good?
Yes, sir. I'm good. How you?
Good. Shan, you there? Brother Shan. I think we lost him again, y'all. He must have got some food.
Shan, don't be over there at Roscoe's, man. Don't be over there at Roscoe's, G.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. It was good. It's good to see you guys. Mr. Let Go, I see you've been getting busy as usual.
Oh yeah, you know it. I gotta be out here.
Okay.
Hey, Aaron, you up here or you down there?
Huh? Oh no, I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
would hit you up if I was up there.
Oh yeah. I got. You know what I mean?
Huh?
I gotta watch you.
Oh. Sounds like y'all got a story to tell. Y'all ain't telling nobody.
Nah, man. He just.
I just be traveling. That's all.
I don't know. When y'all say traveling, man, y'all be going from city to city, man. I see you got the ice on too, man. I'm trying to get like you boys, man.
You need to stop it, JR. JR out here.
No.
JR out here. I be seeing JR clean too.
JR outside.
Yeah, JR outside. Low key.
I appreciate it, man. Let's go to get this first topic going. We'll go ahead and play this clip. Hit that like button again if you haven't already. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our topic: many other people before us made immense sacrifices for us to be in a position to build on top of their contributions. Let me play the context.
I once was having a conversation and the person said something wild to me. They said Harriet Tubman was a sellout. And I'm like, what? How was Harriet Tubman a sellout? And they said because instead of taking the people to Africa, she took the freed slaves up north where they could continue to suffer within this system. I'm like, okay, I guess I could see how you came to that conclusion, but how was Harriet Tubman supposed to get people to Africa with her life position and her amount of resources? How? And the fact of the matter is, Harriet Tubman did her job. It was other people's responsibility to build on top of it. Now that sounds like common sense, but it's not so much, because we still do the same thing today, but oftentimes it's to our own parents, especially black people. Dang, why my parents ain't have no house set up for me? Oh, why I got student loans? Oh, why they ain't invest in the stock market? Oh, why my family don't have no resources? All this stuff, right? But we rarely take a moment to ask, what position did my parents come from? Metaphorically speaking, a lot of your parents were too busy making sacrifices to get you off the plantation. They didn't have time to study the stock market on the Underground Railroad. That's your job now.
You guys seen the context of that? What do you guys thoughts about that? About what he said? How would that see you shaking your head already? Seemed like you was paying attention.
Yeah, I watched this earlier this week. I concur for the most part. I mean, I would say that most parents do the best that they can in the situation that they're given, because they want what's best for their kids. I mean, if the information is not there for them to know, then how can they share it? And once you know, if it's been given to, because there are some kids that the information in the game has been given to, and they don't even do what it is that's been told, right? So there's also a situation where the parents, when they don't know, but the kid realizes that they don't know, so now they have the information. I mean, they have an opportunity to go get the information. I mean, we live in the information age, so it's not really anything that stopping somebody from learning the stock market or learning how to start a business or getting to the goals that they aspire to, right? But oftentimes we do. I mean, I won't say overall, but I would say in the circles that I've been in, that they blame their parents a lot for what it is that they didn't have or don't have currently, when they can a lot of the times figure it out by themselves. Like my parents didn't teach me financial literacy, right? But I knew that me spending all my money wasn't a good idea, so I went to go learn and ask people for advice. So overall, I think parents have done what they could with what they had, and then it's up to us to kind of move forward.
You know, sometimes we go too far, man. I agree with that and what the gentleman that was saying, but just to start off, for someone to say Harriet Tubman was a sellout, I think people say things just to try to go viral. And rather you come from a conscious community or unconscious community, I think attention is the biggest drug right now that people are trying to do. Harriet Tubman says, I freed 1,000 slaves, and I would have freed 1,000 more only if they knew they were slaves. I'm going to repeat. I freed 1,000 slaves, and I would have freed 1,000 more only if they knew they were slaves. Most slaves don't even know that they are slaves. They just think this is the way life is. So when you bring it up to modern day time, a lot of our parents don't just in the system, and they only going by what they were taught. A lot of them didn't know financial literacy. A lot of them didn't know how to. Our grandfathers probably mechanics and did everything, because we couldn't afford to go hire other people to do a lot of work for us. So he did everything on his own, right? However, I do believe that there is, because they didn't know, there is a little bit of, they trying to gain everything on their own and not teaching a little bit of to the children, or making a sacrifice for the children, because they come from nothing. And everybody's just trying to grasp or gain everything for themselves. So they didn't make the necessary, I should say, they made sacrifices, but the necessary sacrifices for us, no, some of them probably didn't do that. But we have to stop trying to blame everything on our parents. When you become, I heard the minister say, when you become 25 years old, at that point, you have to stop blaming everything on your parents, especially if you see the problem. If you say you see the problem, then be the solution to the problem. Don't repeat the same steps. But a lot of us blame our parents, have children, and repeat the same steps that our parents then did. We have to stop this, man. Everybody just becoming extremists and going way too far, man.
So let me go right behind what you just said, because the last thing you said is part of the problem that I have. And it's not about Harriet Tubman, what she said. It's about the parents doing the best they can. I just think that's bullshit. And my kids are not going to blurt that out to nobody. My dad did the best he can. No, because I'm still parenting my kids to this day. I'm still listening and making sure they get whatever it is they can. They're learning from me. I'm learning from them. And that is the thing that a lot of parents did not do, because they were too busy chasing a damn man, chasing a damn woman, chasing their own childhood trauma and whatever, but not focusing on their kids. I think it's all bullshit when it comes to this. They did the best they can. And that's the sad part about it. The majority of black people, black men, male and female, can easily say they dealt with a lot of childhood trauma. And it wasn't just from what the parent actually did to them, but it was the environment their parents put them in. So at the end of the day, it was one time Tupac said, who put us here? God put us here. And then also in the movie, it was a movie, Men's Society, when Kane and Old Dog was in the house and the guy was saying all this spiritual stuff. And Old Dog was like, yo, I don't think God loves us. Look where he put us. Like, I don't think God loves us. And I'm looking at, it's a script, but I'm looking at this young man like, you looking at the people who put you there, right? So that is the actual demon in these situations. See, the actual slave is our parents.
Exactly.
When you depend on welfare and the government to father your kids and to take care of you and your kids, and you did not marry your kid's father, and due to you not marrying your kid's father or not choosing a man that has the wherewithal to help keep you out of projects, move you out of projects, or we all live in the projects together and I'm going to teach my kid and protect my kid. But no, most of us grew up in the project, same old, story or whatever. And all we want to sit around and say is, oh, they did best. No, the hell they didn't. Because if they did, they wouldn't have started fucking in the first place. They would have been like, all right, you know what? This ain't right. I'm broke. You broke. You don't want to be with me. I want to be with you. Let me keep the condom on, or let me have birth control, and we wouldn't even be here. But because of that, because they was just fucking just like we was just fucking. A lot of us were mistakes. Oops, what? What you gonna do about it? Oh, I'm keeping a baby. What? It was arguments like that. A lot of dudes sitting on the edge of the bed like, damn, I don't got this bitch pregnant. Some of our moms was this bitch to our dads, So the thing about it is we can sit around and say all this crazy shit. I'm not saying it's crazy, but the thought process of, they did what, no, they didn't. And I'm not saying people can't make mistakes, but at the end of the day, the actual slave was our parents, because they were a slave to the system. There was a certain point back in the 70s and 60s where at the end of the day, they had a choice. You can either live over here or you can live off the government. And they chose to live off the government. And that is the actual slavery. I used to ask my mom, why don't you get a job, Mom? She was like, well, if I get a job, they're gonna raise my rent to $350 a month. We was paying $35 a month. As a kid, I actually paid our rent because it was on $35. So I knew all the bills. I knew every bill she paid. She didn't pay me any bills. She lived off the government. And I was like, Mom, why don't you get a job? Because I wanted a VCR. I wanted some shoes, shit like that. I had to go out in the streets and sell crack in order to buy myself school clothes. Now, I love my mom. She did a lot of great things for me, but was she a slave? Yes. But the problem was she didn't know she was a slave.
Well, I'm gonna say this to this, man. You're responsible for yourself. Everybody want to blame their parents for what they going through today. You grown as fuck, bro. You grown. And yes, it is the best your parents could do at that time, because just like you said, right? Your parents, you only good as what you know, correct? You only good as what you know, right? So just like you right now in your life, you know better, so you do better. Right? And again, how can, like, this is crazy to me, bro. Like, you hear, bro, you hear, right? You know the mistakes your parents made, and they make those mistakes whether you like them or not. So you, hopefully, if you, the man you say you are and the man you looking to be, can learn from them and not imbue those to your children. But let's peep the scenario, right? Even though you doing a lot more for your children than your mother did for you, right? Depending on the perspective, right? Your kid's gonna still grow up one day and say, maybe I should have had more. Right? Yeah, my dad did well, but this other person's parents did great. It's the nature of children. That's what they do. Right? But the truth is, no matter what y'all say, no matter what y'all do, at the end of the day, you're responsible for you. Yeah, your parents can be fucked up or whatever. But again, I said this, I don't know how many times. When are you going to take responsibility for yourself? Yes, it happened. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it wasn't fucked up. I tell you all the time, we all got our shit, right? But continue to blame somebody for something you go through currently as an adult is beyond me. And that's all I got.
Can I just real quick respond to what Ricky said, if that's okay? Okay. So one, it isn't me blaming my parents. I'm looking at parents, period, growing up in the 80s, right? And the choices that they made. Some people didn't have choices, but some people did. But when it comes to making babies without being married, that is actually a choice. All right. Now, I have a problem with us doing the same shit, right? So it's not just about blaming parents. I look at anybody. Shit, I was talking shit about Nia Long being having 2 baby daddies, doing the same shit, right? She's a millionaire and all that, and it's cool. But at the end of the day, she's still you know. So at the end of the day, she still got broken homes, same old shit. They just got money. So I talk shit about anybody that doesn't seem to do whatever it is that they can do for their children, whether it's our parents, whether it's Nia Long, whether it's me, whether it's y'all, whether it's anybody. So no, I'm not sitting here blaming my parents. I'm giving you a representation of the conversations that me and my mom actually had. My mom made choices and said, I would rather do this versus do that. You right? So with all this, she did or whoever did the best they could is a lie, because I had conversations with her and she made a choice to do this. She could have did this over here, but she chose not to do that. Just like us, just like our parents, these are choices. So all these victims of, no, all these people, whether us or them, made choices. And with the whole Harriet Tubman thing, she was right. Some of the people chose to stay because they didn't know they were slaves. And that is the thing. My whole point is, I want people to stop thinking that they don't have a choice and they're doing the best they could. You can always do better. Just as an individual, our kids could do better, but I mean, our parents could have did better, but at the end of the day, we're here. So we don't want our kids to be saying the same bullshit about us that we're saying for them, because we're letting them out the hook.
I'm gonna take a different approach to the conversation because I'm looking at it, you know, shout out to everybody that shared, their perspective or whatever. When I look at this, it says many people, right? So I'm not thinking about, my personal situation. Although in my family, I look to make like my uncle proud, my granddad proud, my grandma proud. I look to build on top of their contribution to our family and to what they've invested in my life. So that's an easy, right? But I looked at what DJ Academic said maybe about a week ago about the pioneers of hip hop, right? And that to me was just wildly disrespectful. Wildly, because it's because of their contributions that he's able to build the platform to report on the things that he speaks about and become a multimillionaire. That's a fact. Their contributions allows for him to build a platform where he literally sits in his mom's basement playing video games, talking about rappers he's never met, to the degree that he becomes a multimillionaire. Jay-Z, me and Ricky, one day we're going to do this live. Me and Ricky was having a battle behind the scenes like we do every week to get the squad hyped up or whatever, right? And so I was playing the intro to Jay's verse from God Did, right? I'm not the biggest Jay fan at all, but that verse is absolutely insane, especially when he gets to breaking down how many billionaires he's created. How many billionaires? Like, we ain't talking, I'm not even taking it to slave times. He's building off of Russell Simmons' blueprint. Russell Simmons is building off of Barry Gordy's blueprint. Now, I don't know who Barry Gordy built off of Henry Ford blueprint, right? So to me, I look at it as the contributions that I find positive in society. I told y'all, like for me, when I look at, I know people say Black culture is trash and we idolize all these negative things in Black culture. I don't know what culture y'all talking about, the culture that they promote to y'all. The rappers that they promote to y'all that y'all want to follow and dress like, want to emulate, that's not me. I look at Reginald Lewis. I look at Robert F. Smith. I look at Michael Lee Chin. I look at John Rogers. All these gentlemen were in the financial sector. Those are my business heroes. I look at Harold Washington. I look at John H. Johnson, right? So these people made, tremendous sacrifices in order for us to build up on. Right? Not to even mention how many people sacrificed, like a Bob Johnson, former founder and chairman and owner of BT, so we can sit on a platform like this and have these conversations. That is a contribution that he made to the conversation. Kathy Hughes, Urban One. So that's what I take away from it. That's how I'm looking at it, fam.
All right. Cheryl, Sharon, Rio.
I say, I think this really all just depends on perspective at the end of the day. I think perspective plays a real big role in the way you feel like, because two people can look at the same thing and one can get inspired by it and one could, that could serve as their excuse to go downhill, or, that could work to the detriment of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it boils down to. But in terms of answering the question as is on the screen, many people made sacrifices. Yeah. It's just the reality of it. Some of them are notable or were notable. Some of them, never made news clippings or never had books or documentaries written about them. But, they still, sat in them restaurants, for us to be able to, be able to eat the way we do as freely and travel as freely. It ain't no more whites only water fountains and different things like that because of the protests and the sit-ins and the bus boycotts and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of people out there, that wasn't Martin Luther King or that wasn't Malcolm X in terms of like shifting, the freedoms that we have today. So just to answer the question, yes, many people did sacrifice. But same time, I kind of get what Mr. Lego was saying as well, because I was speaking on this a bit earlier. Just the same way I can say many people sacrificed, I can say many people didn't. Many people just copied what they seen before. Many people didn't try to push the envelope at all. Many people fucked us up mentally in terms of how we move in relationships. Many people ruined children and created a lot of the women that we complain about today. And these are supposed to be, leaders of society and this, that, and the third, going back to what I was speaking about earlier, like older men just in general. You know what I'm saying? Because especially on these panels, like we give women a lot of flack. I think the title of this stream is Women Are Children. But shit, what, again, we'll say that on one end, and then on the other end say men are leaders. Men are the leaders of this society and the leaders of this culture and this, that, and the third. And it's like I always say, you can't have it both ways. You can't say I'm a leader on one end and then duck culpability when the society is fucked up as it is. So, again, many people drove us down the path that we are now, into the dysfunction that we are now, created a lot of the women that we see now and complain about now. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, it's all about perspective. And what I mean by that is, me and a lot of my friends, we grew up in a terrible neighborhood. I mean, just a terrible city, just in general, in terms of violence, crime, drug dealing, all that type of shit, right? But I looked at that and was like, I want more. This inspired me. I don't want to end up on the corner like I seen niggas that graduated 2-3 years before me doing. 21 years old, outside a liquor store, standing on the corner, talking about, yeah, man, I was all state. I was, middle school, I was this, or high school, I was that. And the whole time I'm in school balling, I'm like, man, no, that ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I had a a lot of my friends that got locked up. I was sitting in on court dates when the judge handed out 20, 15, 3 20-year sentences to run consecutively. And this is 19-year-old kids, 20-year-old kids. I'm seeing mamas break down in that courtroom and shit. I'm just like, I don't really want the street life. I don't want that. Despite the fact that it was around me. But the same way I looked at those things and went the opposite way, perspective is important here. A lot of my friends looked at those things and felt like, well, shit, this is what everybody is doing. Sheep gonna follow sheep. So I'm just gonna follow suit. So, just like there are many of me to escape those circumstances and prosper, despite the fucked up hand that, a lot of us was dealt, there are many people that just follow suit. And that goes for my generation, and that goes for generations before me. I feel like, in terms of sacrifice is such a relative word, right? Especially when we talking about kids and things of that nature. Oh, man, I sacrifice for my kids. I sacrifice. Well, it ain't really a sacrifice. The kid didn't ask to be here. You decided to bring the kid here. The kid didn't write a letter and said, hey, please have me, and please put your life on hold for me, and please allow me the chance to go out here and thrive and prosper in this world. No, you made that decision. So you can't necessarily call that a sacrifice. You did your fucking job, is what you did. Or what you should have did. A lot of people don't do that. Well, that's another conversation for another day. So, again, just to answer the question, yeah, many people did sacrifice, but many people didn't. Many people repeated the fucked up cycles that they seen before them. And that has added to the state that we are in now. That's what else I got to say about that.
All right. Go ahead, Shan.
2 sons of an alcoholic father. One son struggles through life, a drug addict and an alcoholic. That's what he saw. But the other son becomes a successful, ambitious businessman. When both sons were asked, why are you the way you are? Both sons responded, my father was an alcoholic. You see, life is all about decisions, you guys. This is for everybody. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie K-Pax with Kevin Spacey. It's a wonderful movie. I always refer to that movie because there's so much to learn in there. Kevin Spacey was an alien from the planet K-Pax, and Dr. Powell asked him, he said, on your planet, you have no laws? And Prote, that was the name of Kevin Spacey's character, he said, no laws, no lawyers on our planet. And the doctor said, well, how do you know right from wrong? And Prote says, oh, doctor, every being in the universe knows the difference between right and wrong. And so while I hear some of the brothers saying, well, what you don't know, you don't know. Everybody knows right and wrong. Everybody knows.
Thank you for saying that.
And if you want to use the excuse that, well, my father was an alcoholic, so that's why I became one. So be it. That's what a lot of people do. My mother was a baby mama, so I became one. My father was a killer, so I became one. What did I know? I didn't know no better. No, you chose that because your brother that grew up in the same house as you on the bottom bunk and ate the same Cheerios and watched the same Saturday morning cartoons as you became a successful business person because they chose to go that route instead of you. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. There's no debates. Just remember, everything has a choice. That's why the Matrix trilogy, well, 4 series. I mean, it's a series of 4 now, but the second Matrix, I think it was Matrix Revolution, is arguably one of the best movies ever made. Remember, I'm a film producer. I was a member of the guild, member of the academy. We had to watch this stuff. I had to vote on if these movies were going to get an Oscar or not. And in that movie, when the architect is talking to Neo, he talks about choice. If you guys don't remember that scene, go watch it again with all the TVs on there. And he gave a wonderful monologue. But remember, everything you do is about a choice that you make. And you typically, even growing up in a shitty situation, we'll just call it that, you still know the difference between right and wrong. And we got to stop using excuses. I like that term, victim Olympics, I think is what Anton uses. I love that term. So don't run in the victim Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got.
All right. Rio, sir, what are your thoughts?
You know, I'm very much in alignment with the subtitle we have in the bottom. The idea of someone criticizing Harriet Tubman is just beyond me. I'm really wondering, what is it that they've contributed toward the betterment of any people, and then maybe I'll consider their opinion. But aside from that, I don't know. As a man, I just feel, play the hand you were dealt. Play the hand you were dealt, and be the change you want to see. If you feel that there could have been a better way, a better path, better opportunities that could have been afforded to you, do that for somebody else. Instead of wasting time talking, do that and be that for somebody else. That's all I got.
Can I say something, JR?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shannon, I agree with you. Especially, no, it's no but. There's no but about that. That's, you know, again, it's different angles in life, right? And I agree with you. That's a level of accountability that I think that we all should get to, right? I think we all should get to that. Life is about decisions. Either the decision that you make, there's always a ripple effect to whatever decision that you make, period, right? And sometimes you can make the best decision of that time. That doesn't mean that there's no negatives underneath that. Because if you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too, right? So at the end of the day, it's all about decisions. I would like to say it's a reason why they can look at your third graders test scores, and then they build prisons based upon third grade test scores, because they can bank on that these third graders is going to make bad decisions when they get in between the ages of 15 through 25. Most people biggest mistakes, or the wildest things that most times what people do in their lifetime, is between the ages of 15 and 25. I'm a math person, so I like to look at the numbers. So if you breeding people in poverty or in negative environments in general, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make the wrong decisions in life. If you don't mature someone to a certain level, right, they're going to always make young decisions, right? So a lot of times we seeing somebody that's 40 years old and we expect them to make grown decisions because of their age, but a lot of them didn't even get to there yet. A lot of them still stuck at 18, 19 years old, 21 years old. So we expect them to make 40-year-old, 45-year-old decisions, right? Or based upon because of their age. Age doesn't determine your maturity. There's a lot of grown boys. We know there's a lot of grown boys. and grown girls as well at the end of the day. But I just want to say it's a reason that they look at third grade test scores and they build prisons based upon third grade test scores, because they know, or they banking on them making bad decisions. That's the only thing I want to say.
I'll tell y'all what, man, just real quick, man. I gotta say this before we switch subjects. It's no crime in not knowing, man. It's no crime in that.
That's right.
It's crime in not going above and beyond to find out. So, you know, that's the only thing. Like when I look at past generations, you know, even, you know, a few of my elders and different things like that, right? And again, like you literally have people that's just stuck in the past. It's just like, hey, man, these is what my circumstances are. It just is what it is, man. I don't, you know, I ain't never been good with money. You know what? I'm just not good with money. I'm just gonna always live check to check. I'm just gonna always be broke. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, hey man, I ain't never been faithful. I don't always, you know, whatever. So I'm just gonna always cheat. I ain't gonna strive to be a better man or to be a better father. You know what, man? I was inconsistent in the first 5 to 10 years of my kid life. So you know what? I'm just gonna stay away, man. I'm just gonna try to just let them figure it out, because I don't want to come in and just cause confusion. Like that's what my only issue is, man. And it's a lot of people, not just in previous generations, but today. Like when you ask somebody, hey man, do you read? Nah, I don't want to read, bro. I don't read. But that same person to be on their phone 8 hours a day on social media,
YouTube,
but then complain about not managing money well, or complain about not knowing, or complain about the information not being readily available to me. No, it is. The information is right here. All the information we need is right here. You literally got people making multi-million dollars. Y'all talking about DJ Academics earlier. DJ Academics' first videos, you know what it was shot on? His phone. Sitting in his car. Sitting in the basement. And that was what, about 10 years ago or something? And now he's worth he's a multi-millionaire. So there is no excuse. But like I said, there is no crime in not knowing. There's no crime in ignorance, because the starting point for a lot of us was messed up. That's the God's honest truth, right? But we don't have to stay there. We don't. The information is right here. You just gotta have that will and that want to go figure it out. And nothing makes my blood boil more than people, young and old, who are just accepting of their fucked up circumstances. So that's all I want to say, man.
True, you said something, and I'm gonna end my point beautifully. It's no crime of not knowing. It's a crime of not wanting to know. Look, the scripture says, my people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. I think Ricky said something about, if you knew better, you'll do better. So to say, and that's why your premise, Shannon, I agree with you. My only pushback is when they say that no one, like, you know from right from wrong. Yeah, but when you get into a lot of times it can be an active effect, but a lot of people really don't know. We assume, we presuppose our mentality on other people. Because we think it's, I guess what they say, man, it's common sense, but I guess common sense ain't common to some people. Some people really don't know. My young boy, I was just talking to in my hood, he thought slavery was 2,000 years ago. He didn't even know that his grandfather was born a slave, according to the Constitution. He didn't even know that. Some people really don't know. And the duty of a civilized person is to teach the uncivilized civilization. I'm gonna end my point like that.
And let me jump in before we go to the next point, because I think this is very important for me to share. None of this is about blaming the older people, blaming parents, blaming this and that. It's about understanding that they did whatever they could, can't be handed down to the next generation, because I'm sick of it. right? So just all about not knowing, not choosing to know. A lot of people choose not to know. Like the majority of the women that we deal with, whether it's in the dating world, the way they don't trust, the way they don't do this, we'll talk about that a little later. But the reason why they do and don't do and act the way they do and don't act the way they supposed to do is due to childhood trauma. It's due to their parents. Okay? The way these young boys are running around acting, breaking in cars left and right and stealing shit and robbing folks, taking their watches and all that shit, it comes from the same thing, childhood trauma in the neighborhoods they in. So if our parents didn't know and we're like 35, 40, well, what about the 16-year-olds? That's us. So what do you say about these young girls in these little middle schools running around fighting each other and doing all kinds of crazy shit? When I was young, we used to fight each other. You go to a principal office these days, it's going to be girls in the principal office acting the fuck up, not boys. It used to be boys back when I grew up. We fought. Girls are running around fighting. Girls are angrier than they've ever been. So when we look at like our generation, because my kids are in their 20s. So these young people that are running around doing all this crazy shit, the girls and the boys, we raised them. So is it they fucked up? Is it the same reason why we grew up fucked up? We knew. So we got to stop all this bullshit about, well, you only know who you... No, because it's bullshit. They knew and we knew. Virtually every major city is going crazy. Young boys shooting each other. Young girls still having fatherless babies, still on welfare, all kinds of shit. When is this? Well, you're only gonna know when you're gonna know. When is this shit gonna go away? Because our generation, the people on this stage right now, our friends are raising these fucked up ass kids that are running around robbing people and still having fatherless babies. So what about them? That's all I got.
So
sick of this shit.
Let me wait. Oh, my bad. Shan, you was gonna say something. My bad. You wasn't. Hey, I'm gonna encourage because I don't want to leave out the fact. Listen, man. I gotta say this, bro. I know a lot of people that sent their kids to HBCUs this year, and I just want to salute them publicly because it seemed like it's a lot of people that's just like effed up out here. And the hood is all bad. And, if you come to Chicago, as soon as you get off Midway, you better have your vest ready. Right. And I'm not trying to say that there's not a lot of bad, but let go. This generation, I'm going to tell you what I see with this generation. Same as my generation, same way me and my homeboys were. When we looked at our parents and said, similar to the story that Shannon told about the two sons with alcoholic father. We looked at our parents. We didn't agree with what they did. We said, we're not going that route. There's a lot of kids, bro. A lot of kids that are seeing the same, coming up in the same type of scenarios. A lot of the kids that we raised, I'm gonna agree with you on that one, which is why I advocate in the hood the way that I do. Man, these shorties is like, y'all ain't going. When you look at, when we was in Houston and Atlanta, there was a financial literacy podcast that targets primarily urban people, black people, so on and so forth, right? In Houston, they sold out. In Atlanta, they had 12,000 people. So we moving upward. And I agree with you in the sense of, because it sounds like you holding a lot of people feet to the fire in terms of the generation that came before me and you, because I think we're in the same age group. I don't disagree with you at all, bro. But I do want to balance the message and also highlight, there's people out of our generation. I think me and you reflect that. Shannon, I don't never really hear you talk about how you grew up, so I don't want to assume either. But I know for mine, it wasn't always peaches and cream or whatever. But there's a lot of people that's saying, "Hey, I ain't going. I'm gonna do something different," right? So I want to highlight them too. You know what I'm saying, and not leave them out like ain't nobody doing nothing good. It was 12,000 people in Atlanta to learn about finances. That's dope. Those 5,000, I think, in Houston. That's super dope. So you got people that are taking the tools that's available to them and getting to it. And so we just got to continue to push forward, continue to move the agenda forward. And, these conversations are hard to have because, You know, a lot of y'all came out when you came out the gate swinging Lego. I like, dang, but I can't knock it. You got a point. You got a point. Trill came out swinging. You know, our lives, all of our lives are the sum total of the decisions that we make each day. Period.
I go to prisons in Atlanta, and it's full of young folks. I go to Rice Street. They're in there for 2 years and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Sit down and talk to them. You know, they'll tell you their whole story, their whole life story in like 15 minutes, like it's rehearsed. Young folks, number of young folks, you know? And of course, the first thing I'm gonna say is like, what was your dad? Coming from them, I ain't had no daddy. Same old damn story.
Hey, but you know what my experience was when I was out in Atlanta, though? When I was talking to them young boys, and you know what my experience was when I was out in Atlanta? Hey, bro, real talk. In Atlanta, it was a lot of Theo Huxtables in Atlanta trying to play tough. And that's really how they got caught up. Talk to them short, man, because I did work out in Clayco. What's that? Victor Hill will sit you still. I was out there with him. Man, a lot of them shorties, I know a shorty mom worked hard, tried to put him through school, all this other stuff. Man, that dude got caught up on a murder trial trying to be bad. They trying to be bad. That's like when Migos first came out and started talking about North Atlanta. I'm like, North Atlanta.
Hey, and Rilla, his parents, his mother did everything she could do it right, correct?
Yeah. Hey, man, that lady was there. Hey, look, that lady was putting money on that boy books.
Was his father there?
Nah, dad was
really?
Not that I know of. He never talked about his dad.
That's all I'm saying.
But to your point too, I never really got into that conversation. And I realize now that was a flaw in how I approached them shorties. And then a lot of times I just let them talk. But I'm saying real talk. A lot of these shorties out here is Theo Huxtable. Like when we say the music don't make a difference and entertainment is just entertainment, man, you a BS lie. These shorties is literally out here trying to jump careers off. It's basketball, football. They don't even play baseball no more. They did music. They don't even want to be actors no more or comedians or whatever else. They just want to rap, basketball, football. And in order to rap, you got to keep it real. Well, how you going to keep it real? Hey, man, I got that stick. I got that pole. I had to up that thing on them. In North Atlanta, in Lawrenceville, in Snellville, when did them areas become bad, bro? Like, you know, so I know we got to move the conversation forward, man, because, you know,
Gwinnett County is crazy. Gwinnett County been crazy for at least 10 years.
I know it is now, yeah.
You're on mute, JR.
Keep mute. I know you was trying to say something with that. You want to get something in real quick before we move on?
Yeah, I can wait. The main thing for me is really kind of just trying to figure out what is the goal. If we're saying that it has not been pushed forward, or the people, because the question was about many people have sacrificed for us to move in a better direction. And so what is the better direction for us to say, no, it hasn't, right? Are we talking about marriage? Are we talking about wealth? Are we talking about, relationships? Like, what is it that the goal is to say, no, they didn't? You know, that's really what I was wanting to know.
All right, appreciate that. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to King Talk. Make sure you get them likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got a few super chats, Ricky.
I was muted. Musa Muhammad, shout out to you. When the Kings talk, just listen and soak in the wisdom. Love the show, JR. Goddess Shuin is a new member. Thanks, Green Gang. Gang. The ex-son husband. Please invite the brother at Dirty Folks in on this conversation because he has this topic down to a science. Chicago Gorilla and KA knows him at Lapeef. Dub Will, my boy, King talking this MFer. Wyatt B 856, shout out to Ali for growing his hair back. LOLs. Hey, Miss Parker. Yes, there are bad parents. That's different from socioeconomic ills that plagued our community in the 70s and 80s that hindered some in our community.
Shout out to all the super chats that have come through. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Moving on to our next topic. We're going to talk about finances within a household. When you make the household as one, What does that look like? How does that work? Let me play a little bit of context.
I see a lot of times where households are divided, where you've got, okay, well, I pay half the rent or half the bills, he pays half the bills, but you're supposed to be one.
Yes.
So why is everything split down the middle? And then, like you said, a lot of times that puts a strain on because one person makes more money than the other, but you're splitting the bills down the middle. But when you come together and you actually operate as a team, there's so much more that you can accomplish. Even like you said, the accountability. I will look at the account sometimes and I'm like, don't swipe that card at all today. You know, like seriously, like don't spend any money today. You know, like what is this? What is that? But it just helped us to really, really get to where we wanted to be financially because we were doing it together.
And this stuff might be old school, right? This might be old school, but it absolutely worked. And it absolutely worked for the generation before us, the example and things of that nature. So we can only just tell you from a place of success, not just financially success, just being on the same page. That's successful to me. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife understanding the assignment and executing every year, every month, every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about broke too. Super broke. You know, not having money, but we know what the hell we got. It's not a secret. You know, nobody's arguing about money in our household. Even when we're flat at the bottom, we had to understand it. Hey, this is what we have until Friday. Don't take your ass up in there spending no money. You know what I mean? Like,
money management.
As a couple, finances shouldn't be a secret. What are you guys' thoughts about the video and that topic?
So no, it shouldn't be a secret. You know, it should be pretty transparent because secrecy, you know, when you married or even in a serious committed relationship long term, secrets cause problems. You know, remember, oftentimes people say cheating, it's just like cheating. Like, what is cheating? Is it the act of what you're doing? Well, is it cheating if she got the girl for you and she hollered at her and she brought her home and then, you know, got her in bed? No, cheating is the conniving part. It's the gaslighting. It's the part. It's the sneakiness. It's the betrayal. And that's the same when it comes to finances. It's when you got mad money, ladies, when you stashing a little something over on the side and he don't know nothing about it, you know, and you doing this little extra stuff, bruh. You know, you buying these things and she don't know nothing. That part, it should, based on the question as a couple, finances shouldn't be a secret. No, they should not. Based on what's in the video, on the other hand, is where I'll depart because I think that's a modern couple concern. I don't like the whole 50-50 thing. I don't see a lot of these finance issues that a lot of people are having will be alleviated if men took care of everything, in my personal opinion. If you just said, look, it's all on me and our lifestyle is going to be based on my income and whatever you bring in, we'll figure out what to do with that play money. But we living based on my income. I just had this talk in husband school before this show. If we do everything based on my income, and then if you want to work, you can, but your job will be a fuck you money job, meaning I don't have to work. I don't have to go do this. Then, you know, it alleviates a lot of stress off the woman. It makes the children learn better. They'll read better than an 8th grade reading level. You know, but when you got motherfuckers out there doing stuff because they have to, all because they want to live a certain lifestyle, that becomes problematic. So when you are in what she say when she first started the video, you know, I'm paying half the bill and you paying half the bill. Somebody makes a little bit more money than somebody else. That's a whole lot of problems that will be eliminated.
That's right.
Eliminated instantly, overnight. That problem becomes no longer a problem. If men stepped up, put the shoulders back, chest up, head up, and took care of the responsibilities on maintaining that household. And women live the lifestyle based on his income, which means, so you make $60,000, she makes $60,000, you together make $120,000. Now you guys went out and bought a house that you need to have $120,000, or he makes $60,000. Stop right there. Now live within $60,000. Fellas that make $60,000 do better. In the meantime, y'all make $60,000. Yeah, but what about her 60? That's play money for y'all. Go invest. Go buy some Bitcoin. That eliminates the conversation that they had over there. So I'm kind of like not really. I know I spoke a long time, but I'm not really of that mindset because I feel that men should take care of everything.
I agree with Shannon. Now I want to preface this, brothers. I know most of us don't make the money to be able to take care of a woman completely. I'm talking about yourself and the woman take care of all of the bills. Build. What Shannon is saying should be the idea, but y'all two have to grow into that. I watched so many times when I was managing money for some white boys, they didn't have the money in the beginning. They woman did. They met a woman that came from good stock. She invested to him X, Y, and Z before they had children. They had a 7 to 10 year plan, and then they build up where he was financially free. She quit her job, or he from that point on took care of everything. She became a soccer mom. We have to build to get to that. I don't want to start off because we some of us the panel was doing well for themselves, right? So I want to give you the reality of, I know most black men doesn't make more than $42,000 a year. That's what the numbers say. They don't make more than $42,000 a year. So ladies, it's only a few that makes enough to be able to take care of you and himself and paying all of the bills. Only a few. Only a few. It's not the majority. So that means more likely than none, you're going to meet a man that is not financially free yet. You have to build into that idea. But now I will preface this by saying this. All right. Be married. God damn it. All right. Get married. Don't be sitting there running around. If this ain't somebody that you had serious case that, ties, all of that boyfriend and girlfriend and all that. Nah, I'm off that bandwagon. Other people might disagree, but I'm off that bandwagon. Ain't no a year or two, this, then, and third that y'all got. No, sir. I don't agree with none of that. Get married and build together. That's the only thing I'm gonna say.
Yo, I didn't see nothing wrong with what Shannon said. Oh, Ricky, you go ahead, Ricky.
Oh, I was gonna say, according to the video, they shouldn't be a secret. You know what I'm saying? I think both people should be transparent with what money they bring in and also what they spending it on. Right? Now, my dynamic is I take care of all the bills. I take care of every single bill in this house. Every single and I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? I'm broke. Right? But what Shannon said is exactly right. My wife lives under the lifestyle that I can afford. Right? These are conversations that we had. This is stuff we had to work out, that we had to iron out. Right? But the reason why you need to know where each other's money goes, one, like he said, the secrecy sucks. Nobody wants that. And two, you want to be able to hold each other accountable when it comes to taking care and providing for a household. Right? I know X amount of dollars going to come out on this amount of day for this, right? For the house. Now, what she spent her money on, or her Montgomery Ward credit card, or hey, that's you. You see what I'm saying? Right?
That's that fuck you money.
Right. But as far as I didn't go out and buy no $300,000 house. We had 120.
Yes, right. Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I don't drive no $700 a month car. No. Right? But I also say this. When I want something, I'm going to get it. Right? If I got to work 3 jobs, I'm going to get it. Y'all number one job as a man is to provide and protect. Right? But as far as the video goes, as y'all a couple, you should know where the money goes so everyone can be held accountable. Right? My wife can't be, your credit card out of pocket. You out of pocket on that card. Because the truth is, as the man, if they come knocking on them doors, who gonna be responsible for it? That's all I got.
I as a child, I worked 2 jobs, took care of my family. Family meaning wife and kids. Never in life, I'll say it again, never in life knew how much my wife made. Never in life. Never really cared. I didn't pay all the bills. I paid the majority of the bills. She just paid the light bill, gas bill, little stuff like that. And we ran it, with not too many problems. But I did it because I wasn't afraid to work 2 jobs. Because as a young man, I was taught if you want to get out the hood, one job isn't going to cut it. Because I used to sell dope and get a job. And I was like, all right, I got 1 foot out. If I can get 2 jobs, I ain't got to come back, right? And there was one point I was just selling dope and going to school. Then my homeboys was like kingpin, like he was like a kingpin, one of them, and they wore all these Versace clothes and all this and other stuff, and I felt bad when I hung out with them because I ain't making enough money. I didn't go sell dope with them. I went and got a second job, and I worked 2 jobs, and I still wasn't able to keep up with them. But at the end of the day, I made it a point to not always work 2 jobs, but if I needed to work 2 jobs to take care of my family, to provide for my family, I'm going to do that. So that was one of my secrets that maybe a lot of men don't know or realize. I always worked 2 jobs, and I'm happy to say I work no jobs now, and I just sit on my ass and make money. But at the end of the day, even what I do now, it's because it is in my blood to bust my ass at whatever it is I do without making no excuses. So when it comes to just a couple doing what they do, I'm never going to tell one married couple what to do and how to do it because it depends on their life. But of course, there should be no financial secrets. But if a woman is hiding money from you, that more or less means that she doesn't trust you. And that's a totally different conversation. But when it comes to just finances, hey, man, if you're a man, you got to get out there and work 2 jobs. You got to. So that's what I got.
I would say to answer the question, yes, as a couple, finances should not be a secret. The gentleman already explained why. So I would just say, for me, I'm dating now, but when I was married, I was the one that took care of all the bills, right? My wife was a stay-at-home mom, and she homeschooled the kids, right? And we lived under our lifestyle. I worked 2 jobs. I was a teacher and I was a professor, right? And there were times that I didn't get to see my family, but at the same time, I was able to provide for them because I also had an understanding of finances, which I think is also missed. Because certain people think that you have to make 6 figures in order to have a legitimate lifestyle, as far as taking trips or buying whatever it is that you want to buy. But it's a matter of having a budgeting skill set. So what we did was, I just shout out to my church. They pay for everybody to take a Dave Ramsey course. If you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, go look him up. And so we did the envelope thing where you put where your money. Everybody says, okay, this is the money that we have, and this is what we're going to do with the money each month. And you have a miscellaneous, you have grocery money, you have mortgage money, you have every section of what it is that you're going to be purchasing, and you talk about it as a unit so that everybody knows where the money is going. And if you overspend, you have that conversation. If you underspend, you have that conversation, right? It's about coming together and building is the goal. And that works with community. And the only way that can happen is to have a really good communication set, skill set, I would say. But yeah, at the end of the day, there should be no secrets at all, not just in finances. You should just be pretty open and honest with your significant other.
Hey, Humble Dad, you said you had 2 jobs, and one is a professor and one is a teacher. Just give me the quick and dirty. What's the difference between the 2?
Well, I was a middle school math teacher, and then I was an adjunct, for at the local community college. So I taught 6th through 8th grade during the day, and then at night I would go to the college and teach.
So you saying that a professor is a teacher, but a teacher isn't always a professor?
Correct.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. I know really was trying to get in there. What are your thoughts?
No, Ricky took my stuff. No, obviously, as a couple, finances shouldn't be a secret. I agree with let go. Like, I'm married now. Me and my girl been together for 6 years. We got married in February. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I have no idea what she makes. No idea. No idea. Right. And so what I did want to, because I don't want to add to what the brothers were saying, I don't want to take away from their points. I hear a lot of us talking about 2 jobs. And shout out to Lego, shout out to Humble Dad, because I definitely had my season of that. I'm not doing that again. Right. And I'm not at let go level where I'm not working no job and I just get to sit down and stun on YouTube and get my viral moments and talk slick, swallow spit, and put these unruly women in their place. I don't get paid to do all that yet, right? But what I do believe when you hear, Shan stunt, I was member of this, member of that, I got my 7 brands. I got this, when you see him flex like that, you know what I'm saying? What you should be taking away from that is creating, this for the young and for the young ladies too that's listening, and maybe for some older heads, but create multiple streams of revenue. Multiple streams. You should have multiple streams of passive income. Multiple streams. I have created I have a portfolio. I have 2 portfolios, and I've long since gotten away from like checking them every day, right? Because I manage my own portfolio. One of them, but you should have that. And then look for other things. What are you passionate about? You know what I'm saying? How can you create or solve a problem? How can you create passive income from that? There's so many different ways to get bread out here. I just don't want people thinking, like in the age that we came up, that you have to work that hard. You do in terms of your work ethic and the quality of your work. But I don't want people, I don't want these young bloods out here working 3-4 jobs. I mean, if you got to get to it. But I really want you to focus on, because if I had known, man, listen, when I was a shorty, if I had known about a 401k, Shan, at 19, if I had known about a 401k, I'm out here buying shell toes, and because I wasn't into Jordans. That's what JR did. I wasn't into.
We would have known about if we would have took that Roth IRA serious.
Man, listen, at that age, I tell at my job, I tell them shorties 18, 19, I tell them, I make them sit down and show them how to enroll. And my company just rolled out some savings plan where they can help contribute to it similarly to how they do a 401k. Oh no, you got to get in on this. You'll be way ahead of the game by the time you hit 30 or whatever, whichever path you choose to go down. So I just wanted to put a little paint where it ain't in that regard. That's all.
All right. Anybody else want to speak on it?
I was going to say, go ahead, Rio.
Nah, man, I just wanted to tip my hat to the couple. I see a lot of trust, good communication, good energy. It seems like they got a happy marriage, I can't say that their system is broken if it appears to be working, and I don't have enough information to dissect their lifestyle. So from what I see, salute, more power to them. And as far as keeping secrets, if you're going to be married to somebody, right? Shouldn't they be trustworthy? Shouldn't you be trustworthy? Shouldn't you be trusting in each other? Shouldn't you share? Shouldn't you communicate? I don't see any reason why to keep anything from each other. So as a couple, finances are included, right? And information that should be shared. And if you have to question that, maybe you should question who you're with.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say one last thing. I was thinking, even as I'm dating now, like we got serious, right?
in the beginning, it wasn't a lot of conversation about finances as far as like specific numbers. But as we began to be serious, I mean, we share our numbers with each other, even though they're not in the same bank account right now. But we talk about what she makes, what I make, what's the monthly budget, and coming together and trying to build even at this particular point in time. So I would ask the panel, when do you think that should be a conversation? Because at some point you're going to have to talk about finances, or do you wait till you're married? When is a good time?
I talked early, like with my little boo thing, man. We talked early.
Like what's early? Give me like a time stamp.
When we knew we were serious, let me see. Within the first 3 months. Within the first 3 months, when we knew, listen. So let me be clear, when people don't get it twisted. I knew off top. Again, I said the person that I'm with, I've been with for 6 years. We was talking about this the other day. How did we know? And we both were saying like we both knew early on. I just was dragging about us getting married because I wanted certain things in order. But that finance conversation, Humble Dad, and what it looked like for us was, who would be responsible for what. And it wasn't even more so the reason why I don't know what she makes. It's not an issue for me. It's not something I concern myself with. That's why. And it's not like pride or ego or nothing like that. I mean, like she definitely knows what I bring in, especially when I see increase. When I see increase, I share that with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we had that conversation early when we were dating. And I would say within the first 3 months, because we knew we were serious then. So similar to what you're saying. So, but I was going to piggyback off of what Rio was saying just really quick, because it hones in what Ricky says every week, man. Find somebody that rocks with you, get with that person and make it happen, Captain. Get with the person, because it ain't no cookie cutter answer. Somebody might say, nah, man, you can't do that in the first 3 months. Do it in 6 months. Oh, man, no. Wait till the first year. No, do it at this time. Do it, man. Nah, get with somebody that rock with you and make it happen, Captain.
I like that. I think when you intend and dating with intentions just means courting, right? When you courting with someone, all those questions need to be asked. Let me tell you something. With me, I don't know if I can't even say this is a Muslim thing, even though I know a lot of Muslims operate this way. But even prior to me even studying Islam, I always had the mindset as like, no matter what happens in the relationship, if I'm the leader, everybody gonna look at me. It could be the woman could have been dead wrong. People going to automatically assume they can like, if y'all break up, what you done? So because I feel that weight, that burden, that I have to make sure everything is going right. I'm probably not in control of her finances, but I know what the hell is going on over there. I'm a need to know person. The root word of science means to know. I need to know everything that's going on in my marriage. Let's just make this perfectly clear. So, because at the end of the day, if something don't go right, I got to get to take the bulk of the blame of it if I'm quote unquote to be a leader. So I'm asking a lot of questions before I even go that far during the courting process. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I operate. I know I agree with Ricky when it comes to, and not maybe a lot of women or some women, because I never really had that issue. Never had a woman give me a pushback about it, but it might be women out there will give you pushback about it. That's cool. I'm gonna find somebody that rock with me. That's it. That's the way how I operate. If we ain't in harmony, then some people could be good, but just not good for you at the end of the day. So deuces.
I would say it's nothing wrong with talking about finances early. You know, me and my lady, we talked about finances early. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And she make more money than Mr. Let Go, respectfully.
Humble Dad. I'm glad you guys are talking about it. Before proposal, if everybody's marriage mind, you want to get married to your girl, money talk, income, budgeting should be discussed way before you even get to the point that you even want to get married. Before you propose, that should already be clear. It probably should come around the time that you're thinking that, damn, I hate that you're going back home to your apartment. I wish you lived here. If you want a threshold as to when money should start to be talking about, I don't even want her going home. She's always here all week long. Y'all know what I'm talking. Everybody in the chat knows. Everybody that's watching the show knows what I'm talking about. Damn, she's always at my place, or I'm always at her place. Damn, when you get to the point where you're saying, why are we paying rent at 2 different locations? That's where money needs to be talked about. You may not even be at marriage there, but that's where money should be talked about. And just a quick tip. See, Humble Dad, your new girl, she's a working woman. Your ex-wife, she was raising the children. She was a stay-at-home. So you got 2 different dynamics here, and you may have liked both of them. I submit to you, if you and your new girl decides to hitch and get married and become a family unit and take it for the rest of y'all lives, still play with the idea of you taking care of everything, and her money is play money. See, the thing about when a man takes care of everything, if your wife wants to work, she can. If she don't want to work, she don't have to. Don't ever put a woman in the position that she has to go out there and bust her ass and get up at 6 a.m. and drive around your car out the driveway and fight through traffic and deal with parking in the employee parking lot and who stole her food out the employee fucking break room and shit. She got to write her name. Somebody's eating her sandwiches and shit, and then she's arguing. Don't put your woman in.
Bro, you been extra.
Shan, let me ask you a question.
That's what it is,
bruh.
Shan, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question on that real quick.
Yeah.
In the past, because you've been married in the past, did your wife appreciate you creating that type of lifestyle? Did she move?
Okay, now that's a different conversation.
Conversation. I'm about to say that's.
That's real though. I mean, I'm just. You ain't got to share.
Hold on, Rio. Let him answer the question. Like he got it. Go ahead.
That's a different conversation. Oftentimes, so that's a conversation that I didn't have. Don't advance. What I advise now, so you gotta understand something. What I advise, people always say, Shan, you twice married, twice divorced. How you giving advice? Because I'm telling y'all where I screwed up. I'm not out here saying, oh, women ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. And this is why I'm no, I'm out here saying, man, what did I fuck up on? Oh,
so can you elaborate on what you're saying? You said you didn't talk about what?
I didn't discuss her not working. See, my women, my wives worked. In fact, I set their careers up, and because I was like Miss Independent. That's why I love her. See, I was debated. I grew up blue pill.
Beta.
I'm 50, so listening to Neo talking about watching Garcelle or Gabrielle or whatever it was, women out there being the bosses and all that other kind of stuff. What I was sold on. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal, y'all.
Okay.
Trust me when I tell you.
Okay, so now, I appreciate that. Honestly, that was a different period of your life, and you had a different mentality. Now that you have this mentality, and now that you have the resources to create that lifestyle and the ideals about what a woman and what a wife should be to you to fit within your program, would you agree that you're a little more selective so that maybe marriage doesn't even come as quick and as easy as it did before?
That's true. And see, the thing is, I had the resources to do it then. It's just that mentalities wasn't there. So my thing was, well, I could make $1 million, but with you, I could make 3. Right? I just need you to work like I work. You got to be out there. We're gonna both drive this car. Let's put a steering wheel in the passenger seat and let's go to you drive and I'm driving together, because together we'll be able to navigate. I didn't realize that. I just needed somebody to watch my six.
And you really thought that there are cars out there with 2 steering wheels?
2 pilots can always fly the plane better. See, that's what a lot of young men today think. That's where the 50-50 mentality comes from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up out. I grew up blue pill. I grew up under all the song. I was indoctrinated with this stuff. What? So now I'm just saying, listen, guys, it's a bad deal. I went down that route. You don't want to go down that goddamn road. I've been down that road. It doesn't work.
Shannon, can I just say
that part of the story is important. That part of the story is important, though.
Hold on, y'all. Let me just say
working or them not working? I'm confused.
No, he don't want them to work. But this is why I understand, Shannon. I just want to say this to you. I got you, bro. That's why you would. I now I understand that day when we was on live on here, right? I don't know if it was on King Talk or the Thursday show, but I remember you said that the way you went all the way left, like I'll take the one that's working at Starbucks as long as she don't work the whole 9 yards. I'm like, now I was with you, like I taking care of your woman the whole. I'm with you, but you sounded so extreme to me that day. But I understand why. You're gonna make sure you never repeat that mentality.
No, but real talk, Shannon. I got a better perspective. You know what I'm saying? About you explaining the backstory. You know, you. So that's the reason why I asked those questions.
I respect that. I understand. But that's what happened with my ex-wife, man. She never had a full-time job until we got divorced.
And then she's like, damn.
Listen, she wasn't working when she had my children. When she wanted to work so bad, I said, all right, we're gonna start. I started a smoothie business for her. All my clientele was at my barbershops. She had my clientele. Everybody came in there, bought a smoothie. It was consistency, right? Then from there, I started a summer camp for her. So she had the summer camp. Like, no matter what we're taught in the nation, create an environment. If your woman do want to work, if she want to work, create the environment for her. So as you said, she don't feel the, you pretty much are writing the checks for them, really in reality, right? Or somebody that look like you at least. So
tired your girl.
You right. So at the end of the day, but when we got a divorce, now
she got to go work for him.
Now she got, and then when she
don't be late.
She had another child. A month later, she had to go back to work.
And have that expense report ready.
So I can't say
don't get written up.
I'm not going to say whether she appreciated or not during the time of what I did. That's not for me to say. However, but I can probably bet your bottom dollar on now. She'd
rather have a smoothie business.
Hey, big head.
Hey, yo.
She appreciates that smoothie business. She'd so rather be making smoothies than sitting in her cubicle. 8 hours.
All right.
She a truck driver now.
Oh, wow. Shout out to the truck drivers.
Shout out to all the truck drivers out there. We respect all y'all.
What up, Sherelle?
Shout out to my baby mama.
Wow.
Respect. Now that's my dog though. She my dog though. On real talk. I don't really have those baby mama dramas that,
Hey, Rashawn. Hey, respectfully, let me just say this because this is King Talk. For me, I'm just saying, the baby mama talk is like, for me, that's a disrespectful term. That's the mother of your children, fam. Yeah, I can't. I'm not telling you, trying to tell you how.
I got you. For my boy Rilla, my ex-wife, man. My ex-wife. That's my.
Yeah, that too.
Respectfully.
Whoa! You called your ex-wife your baby mama?
Yeah, man. That's how we talk.
Oh my God!
That's how we.
Come on, man.
Listen, it's a language thing. Chill.
No, bro. I never. No.
All right, man.
Real quick. I call it was a joke. I called my ex-wife my baby mama. It was a joke though, in front of my kids. My kids look at me like, are you serious? I'm like, it was a joke. It was a joke. I wasn't saying it by mistake. I said it on purpose because it was a joke. They looked at me like I said I called their mama a bitch or something. I'm like, oh, sorry. I was trying to make a joke, and we all was, we was broken up at that time, and we was divorced. And I just said, baby mom. They looked at me like I said some crazy shit.
Listen, I don't have those issues. Whatever
I'm just saying, never call your ex-wife your baby mama. She was married to you, bro.
Man, that's my all right, man. What that mean? What does that mean?
With that being said,
Hey, man, I wasn't trying to start nothing. I was saying, and it's not even for me. I'm saying for me. Well, I guess it is for me. Anyway, I was saying that word like baby mama. I know the connotation. I know where it started from. I know what we mean when we say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah, it's a negative term.
That's the mother of your children. Yeah, it is.
Do you know Obama is still Mr. President?
Man, can we move on to the next?
Obama is still Mr. President.
Yeah,
That means your wife.
If you guys
not your baby mama, bro.
You guys just tuning in. Welcome to a lot of people. Let's talk. Make sure we get the likes up. Also, make sure we subscribe to the channel. I've been told via chat that the likes are down. So hit the like button, family. It's free. That's all we asking for. Ricky got a few super chats.
Mr. Ward, I think I saw this on Crew Season, but these young cats ain't trying to hear nothing from us OGs like how we soaked up the game in the 80s. I just wish I had platforms as this when I was younger. Real talk. Brother Sean, what's good? He said one dude with multiple baby moms equals some kids left behind. Musa Muhammad, shout out to Brother Rashawn Ali for always kicking the supreme wisdom. 7 C's in the building, always love for them Brooklyn boys. Shelton Ward again, thanks so much, God. You said there is no such thing as a healthy relationship without transparency. To me, that shows lack of respect, and without that, there's no selfishness. What's up, Brock? Look the couple up. Mr. 2 weeks out, Mrs. 2 weeks out. Perry Unlikely, what's good with you? He said, great thoughts, man. A lot of cap on the internet. My wife and I both make enough money to pay all of the bills on one salary. We talk finance second date. Money Bob, $49.99, man. He said, swear. It's a lot of money to say one word. He said, Uncle Luke, 1980s. He said, all good, Shannon. At one point, I was blue pill too. Live and learn, don't we? Beta. Bob, again, wrong channel, but still good. Hey, we'll take it. He said, no refunds. The retired guy, 319, he said, my wife and I have never had a separate pot. We put everything together. I then manage all aspects of our finances with absolutely no pushback, even though she now out-earns me. Still working, 3 kids, and 30 years later. Congrats on that, man. Brittany B, what's up, sis? Team Brittany, my favorite show. Happy birthday week to me. Happy birthday, boo-boo.
Hey.
It's lit.
Brittany.
Love you, girl.
Weed every day.
All right. Again, hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. Now it's time to get to the meat of the conversation. We know the ladies like the meat.
The meat?
Pause. Yeah, pause on that one. Y'all celebrating that meat a little bit too much now. Put the pause in there. All right, with that being said, you guys seen the thumbnail. I've heard Mr. Let Go and Ricky speak on this. I know he wasn't here. I think it was last week or the week before last. Can't recall. But Ali said, Mr. Let Go, that we would be surprised. Well, he asked the panel if we knew where you got that from because he heard you say it. Would you care to share where you got women are children from?
Well, I actually did a show called The 10 Reasons Why Children Are More Emotionally Intelligent Than Women. So I'm not going to go down that road, of course, but I have proven in different ways that women are children, and it's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, from a societal standpoint, women and children are in the same category when it comes to protection. You're on a boat and the boat is going down. It's women and children first. It's not the men. The men are last. If the men can make it up there after the women and children, cool. But at the end of the day, women are socialized together with children. The way women cry, and not cry, period, but how they're able from a societal standpoint, because we all cry, but we're able to cry. Well, they are able to cry without, anybody being like, yo, what's wrong with you? Why you do this? Like a child.
You can mention them.
Hold on, Rob. When a child, we have to take care of women. which is okay, right? We have to, we provide them with tech. But the thing about it is we are the authority figures of women. So from a society standpoint, women are categorized as children, and that is the best place for them to be. For us to be able to protect them, we got to know where they are, So one of the things in my list is that children have a better understanding of their role than women do. You tell a child to sit down and tell a child to stop doing this, and tell the child to stop talking back because I know what I'm doing and allow me to run the household and run this, run that. A child is going to be like, they're going to act up a little bit, but they're going to understand why. And they're going to be like, okay, you tell a woman to sit down, tell a woman to stop doing this, tell a woman to same stuff. I'm trying to protect us. She's going to talk back and give you all kinds of hell. So from that, just one, because it's 9 other ones, but from that one standpoint, a child knows their role more than an actual woman does. So that's the reason why I say women are children. Women are more children than children.
Okay. Hold on, Ali, for anybody say anything. I appreciate that. I was just curious as to your thoughts on it initially. I was having a conversation earlier, and it seems to be that women are triggered by when men say women are children. Now, they don't have a problem saying women act like children, but when men say women are children, it seems to be a trigger word. Shout out to She Critique. They show us on Fridays, 8 p.m. Central. That's on the other channel. But they were having a conversation, and Ricky was on the panel. And as I was going through the video, I thought it might be an interesting conversation. So I'm going to play a clip. It's a little lengthy, but it's not long. I think it's very valuable and gives a nice context of what we're about to really discuss. So I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
One of the things that I can appreciate, like when I'm thinking about a child relationship, with their dad, is I would not mind my husband coming to me with a soft heart, the way that they do with, especially men with their little girls. So in that regard, I can appreciate that analogy as treating me as, I don't want to say as a child because it sounds condescending, but that concern for taking care of and protecting. That aspect I can appreciate as a wife, knowing that my husband looks at me in terms of, I don't want to say vulnerable in a negative sense, but like the weaker vessel, in the sense that he feels the need to want to take care of me and to protect me and come to me with a soft heart and talk to me from that place of love, like you would a child. Men just seem to be much more softer with their children, as opposed to when they're, relating with, their wife or what have you. So in that regard, I can pull a little bit from what Ricky is saying and can look at that aspect of a child, but being condescending in terms of, and not saying that you were. I'm saying
you're good.
yeah.
I'll explain. Mm-hmm. And again, listen. And why I say the things I say them to hit certain points and to make you think about it. You see what I'm saying? Now, again, this is not y'all. I've never heard you ladies on this panel. As long as I've seen and I watch y'all, I've never heard y'all. But for me to say I haven't heard multitudes of women come up with these excuses. Listen to what I'm saying. No matter what, the man should be responsible, right? Keep the D in his pants, right? The reason your woman act like this is because you're not doing A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? Y'all put y'all woman in line. Y'all supposed to be the man. The reason why your woman act this way is because you let her get away with it, right? So just like Thinking Man Podcast said, right? If y'all can't be responsible for the part y'all play in it, which a lot of these women do, let's be honest. Please, let's be honest on this point. Which a lot of these women do, no matter what part they played in it, no matter what happened, it come back on what the man did. I'm sure y'all done heard stories from plenty of y'all girlfriends. Yeah, I did this. I left him down there. Never say what they said. They come up with everything the man did. You always get a one-way story. So with that being said, right, if it always come back on me, and no matter what, I got to get the responsibility, the accountability, and the freight, what else could I call a woman but a child? Because that's who got kids up here. No matter what your kid do, you responsible for it, correct? Take your car, even though you told them, don't take the car. It's for your safety, right? Don't go to that party. I'm telling you, them kids that's at that party, they bad news. Don't go there, right? But they go, and who get that call at 2 a.m? Right? So if women continue to do this, if y'all continue to put it on the man, and if I'm gonna be responsible for everything, you're a child. I don't think y'all that. But this is what the women in ad nauseum is representing, right? Even this goofy, right? Because you don't like the way I say stuff, but it's the truth. Right? No matter what you do, no matter what you do, no matter how the man plays it, you could be right or wrong or indifferent. It always comes back on the man. So if that's the case, what else is a woman but a child?
All right, shout out to Ricky Williams and the Chic Critique. He dropped that fire. You guys see the topic. Ready to discuss in the meat of the conversation. Women are children. Don't want a controlling man, but want the protection of a father. We heard a little bit of mistaken speaking on that. So let's talk, fellas. What do you guys thoughts?
I just want to say, damn, Rick, you left the mic on fire on that one. Beautiful explanation. You know, I know that's definitely triggering for women when you use the term as child. You know, I guess I would give a little honey. A lot of women acting immature, especially if you don't take accountability. But man, he was just, man, that was on fire, bro. I mean, it ain't really nothing that you really listen. If you want a man to protect you, I heard the minister say, if you want a man to protect you, then a man can't protect what he can't control. In fact, I guess the best way to say a man can't protect properly what he can't control. Period. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to leave the rest for everybody else, bro.
One of the reasons why I don't argue with women is due to the fact that I'll be arguing with a child. The way women argue, the way women rationalize is like a child, right? So I'm never going to argue with a woman. Never have, you know, not like I can't even remember an arguing match between me and a woman ever in life, right? Now, disagreements, yeah, you know, whatever, you know, like, what are you talking about? I didn't do this. You did it. Yeah, you know, trying to rationalize my way of thinking, you know, but just to argue match, I don't do that, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be arguing with somebody that doesn't really have the capability to listen, to, you know, to understand versus listening to responding. So women listen to respond. Therefore, it's no reason for me to say anything. I'm gonna let her get it all out. And I'm like, okay, well, this is how I feel. And we'll go from there. And then she'll hang up on me because she's a child. Just little stuff like that as an example. So the bottom line is women hang up on dudes. Women loud and get loud and not want to, you know, listen and all the other stuff. Men listen. You know, if all of us was around each other and some shit happened, it was like, all right, I've been here before. Let's go this way. I'm not going to be like, no, I don't know. No, I'm listening, right? So adults listen. Adults follow orders. Adults submit to the authority figure of the room. Children don't, not initially. You know, you're gonna have to say something in order to, you want some candy? You want to do this? Well, with a woman, you got to rationalize on why they doing something instead of just being like, all right, we got to do this. None of y'all got to tell me why we got to go this way. Y'all niggas like, yo, we got to go. I don't care what's going on. I'm going. Why? Because I know how to follow orders. Why? Because I'm adult. Adults know how to follow orders because we have jobs and the entire world is put together where we all have to depend on each other. the whole independence bullshit. I'm independent. That's what children do. When children have little pull-ups on, they feel independent because they no longer have a diaper. And then when they don't have the pull-up on anymore, and they don't need pull-ups at all, and they go pee on their own, they feel independent. Like a woman, any person who thinks they're independent is a child. Because at the end of the day, this all is a system, whether we like it or not, and we all depend on each other. We're all dependent on YouTube right now. We're dependent on our cell phones, everything, our power, lights, everything. The damn toilet flush. If my toilet don't flush, guess what? My shit don't go down, and can't nobody fix it. Guess what? I'm screwed. Because I'm going to either depend on whoever or the damn plumber or somebody to fix it, because I can't fix the shit. Why? Because I don't know how. So I understand that the systematic part of life, therefore I am not a child. So people who don't understand that part, which is usually women, they are children.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, man, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think we pretty much we all gonna agree it's gonna turn into an echo chamber. So I'm gonna approach it from a different angle. I think most women deep down aspire to be treated like children, sure. Which is why, like, you don't hear men using baby voices when they want something, but you hear grown ass women, your girl, your wife, when she wants something real bad, baby, can I get that purse? You don't hear men do that. So, I think at the end of the day, women definitely want to be treated like child. I think they get caught up on the verbiage. Sure. Like when you telling a grown person that they are a kid, that is, kind of egregious, especially considering, like I said earlier, if women are children, well, goddamn what that say about the grown folks in this state of society we in. We love saying these things, right? In terms of women are irresponsible and women don't know their role and women are all over the place. They want to be masculine. They uncoachable. They this, they that, they this, they that. Sure, you're right. But what does that say about the grown folks that are supposed to be leading you?
Go ahead, Trill.
We say we leaders on this bitch 24/7. I'm a grown, I go my own way. I take care of this. I pay all the bills. I do this. I do that. Sure. But the fact is that our women are still running awry, outside of purpose, all type of shit. And what does the cause typically stem from, right? The man not being in the house, whether we like it or not. Even let's take women away from it. We were just talking about niggas shooting each other and fighting and robbing and breaking in cars, and y'all was going down to the prisons and talking to people and shit. Like, damn, all these niggas are saying the same thing when I ask them, hey man, your dad was in the house? Nah. So again, it's a give and a take, and I'm gonna beat this drum until we turn this shit around. You cannot claim to be a leader on one end and then blame your following for the environment being fucked up on the other. That's my only issue with that.
Facts. And listen, facts.
I'm gonna say this, and it's the last time I'm gonna address this. This is the absolute. I promise y'all on everything I love to the Most High. This is the last time I'm gonna address this. I hear what everybody's saying, bro. But no matter what we keep saying, people gotta make choices. You gotta make choices. As a woman, God, look, we all ain't who here had an optimal upbringing? Who here? Right? So I keep and shout out and Trill, I ain't got no beef. You know what it is, right? But if I'm doing the best of my ability to lead, at what point does the woman have to be smart enough to realize this person has my best interests at heart?
Now that's facts.
But would you say that most men are leaders?
That's I can't talk for them. You see what I'm saying? Let me really break it down for y'all. What y'all don't understand, even Even hold up, Shannon, right? Even though this society is based upon policing and protect everybody and try to get everybody an equal shot, that's not the facts. This is survival of the fittest. Some gonna make it, some not. Right? You have to be smart enough to make the correct decisions. You, no matter what your mama did, no matter what your daddy did, if he was a crackhead, yeah, we all wish we had the correct circumstances. We all wish we had the right platform to launch off into life. But that's not true. All you can do, Trill, Rilla, Shannon, Mr. Let Go, is to be better than your parents. That's it. That's it. But to address the ladies, right? This the thing. I don't believe y'all children, but this is what y'all tell me. Right? Today, Trill, I did a live today on why women shouldn't raise men. Right? Instead of coming and acknowledge the conversation, you know what they do? What's the solution? So even though you know you made the mistakes, I don't care what nobody say. Everybody at some point in their life, woman or man, had somebody telling your stupid ass, don't do that. And you made a choice. So instead of doing that, right? Instead of doing that, you want to come and say, oh, we acknowledge the fact that we all know what happened, right? Because we all know what happened because you're here. But if you were to listen to the people that you said was a beta in your life, or the people that you thought wasn't a good enough leader for you, you still want somebody to come and fix your fuck up. How many of y'all have that option on this panel? Who's y'all backup plan?
Nothing.
Who's y'all savior? Who's y'all Jesus? Better yet, who do you look for? Who do you look to save you?
That's proof that women are children right there.
Let's tell the truth about this shit. I ain't knocking what it is, bro. Like I said, bro, I take responsibility for mine. That's mine. But I know for a fact, and I see it on this space every day. Trill do it, Mr. Let Go do it, Shannon. You give away game for free and they still don't pick it up off the ground, God. They're gonna do what they want to do and then blame it on somebody else. But then they'll wait till they 40, 45, and then say, oh, I'm ready to settle. And then think today's price is yesterday's price. It's not. It's not.
I have this question then, though. Like, if we're saying that women are children, and we're the leaders, and we're trying to get them to be on board with us.
No, we're not trying to do that. They either gonna get on board or they're gonna stay their ass in single. We ain't trying to do nothing. I just want to say that part.
Well, what I'm saying is that it is seeming. That's why we're having the conversation, because we want them to have their mind change. Otherwise, what's the purpose in talking, right? Unless you just want to have something to talk about, right? Hopefully, the goal is. Hopefully, the thing is to have a solution for our community to do better. And you know what I'm saying. So if I'm saying I'm a leader, right, and I go in my classroom, right, and I say, man, all y'all in here suck, right? Their mindset is, man, teacher said that we suck. Like, what? Okay, so what are we gonna do now? Like, I just said that they suck. I'm just gonna continue to tell them how sorry they are, right? Okay.
No, humble dad. I think.
Let me finish. I ain't interrupting none of y'all niggas. I don't understand. Right. So it's what I'm saying is, as a leader, there has to be some type of direction from a particular perspective. Like, if we're just yelling at them, telling them that they're children, even though they are, if that's what you're saying that they are, then as a leader, you're doing a horrible job of communicating.
100%.
Okay. So, and I'm saying to you that you keep saying that you're a leader, but you're not really affecting change. So how much of a leader are you? You say that they're children.
Okay, let's get past it. What is the solution in getting them on the same page with us, right? Because you saying that we gonna leave them behind. Then if you leave them behind, how do we grow as a community if we leaving people behind? Like, they don't even make sense. As a teacher, right? I know that there will be some that don't get everything that I am delivering. I know that. But my goal should be that everybody gets it. And not to mention that if they don't get it, then we got to have some tutoring, right? Or we got to put somebody else next to them. If they not listening to me, maybe I can find somebody else that they will listen to, right? That is what I'm saying. We talk a lot about the problem, but when are we going to get to the solutions if y'all niggas saying y'all leaders, right? Yelling at your kids ain't going to always be the resolution.
Go ahead,
You're going to have to talk like rational to people. And you telling women that they children is what is providing what solution?
I never.
So, let me answer that for him.
Hold on.
Wait.
I never said that was a solution. I give solutions, but when I give them a solution, they give me an excuse.
Bam.
Which is fine, right? Which is fine. But what I'm saying is,
which is what children do.
That's fine.
Right?
But what I'm saying is, watch this. If your child is arguing back to you, right? Then what is it that you want to do? Are you going to say, listen, I've already told you what it is. Okay. You're going to have to just do what I ask. What's the point of yelling? Like, I ain't got to yell at you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to talk crazy to you. If you're not going, like you said before, Rick, if you're not going to fall in line, then that person can move on. We can move on from that person. But as a unit, if we keep talking negatively to the people that we want to come to us, that's not going to work. That means y'all are really bad leaders, is what I'm saying.
No.
I don't care.
Well, let me say this.
I've been in leadership positions for a very long time.
I think
it's important. No, we ain't gonna do that.
Hold on, Mr. Lego. How much we're gonna get Rio in because I know he.
So, absolutely, but we're not gonna interrupt me, okay? Because I don't interrupt none of y'all niggas ever, okay? So, what I'm saying is,
no, sorry about it. I thought you was done. No, it's cool.
You know when I'm done. Stop playing. All right. So what I'm saying is, if you are a leader, then you're supposed to find the way to effectively communicate to the person that you are leading, right? If they're not listening, then you continue yelling at them and telling them what it is that they are doing negatively. It's not going to change the outcome. And I'm saying that you're a horrible leader if you continue to do the exact same thing and then you think that there's going to be a change, right? That's not how that works. That's called insanity, right? So I'm saying that you need to try a different approach if you want a different result, is what I'm saying. Now I'm finished, and you can go.
Hold on. I'm
gonna
get the Rio first. Go ahead.
Now, one of the things I'm taking, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, HG, one thing I'm taking is I think some of us are expecting women to respond in the way that men are expected to respond. And what I mean by that is we want them to listen, we want them to take heed, and we want them to keep their emotions out of it when receiving that message. That's not how they're wired. So if you really want to communicate effectively, you got to figure out how it is they can receive the message that you want to communicate if you want them to be able to receive it without putting up that wall and becoming triggered. We know they're going to get triggered. We're actually intelligent enough to know when we say something and it's going to cause them to be triggered. So what do we want? Do we want the reaction or do we want them to understand? Let's just keep it real.
So let me. Are you done? Sorry about that. Okay. So, Humble Dad, this is my own way of doing things. I can't speak for anybody else. One, I actually coach women, so I actually am in a community helping women. All right. I have a coaching group, and we have coaching classes Monday through Wednesday. I mean Mondays and Wednesdays. We go over books after books after books after books after books about childhood trauma and different things about that. So that's one thing. Two, me talking about me, I don't run around yelling at women and say women are children, right? I did a show breaking down how this is actually a fact, right? And I gave them an understanding that it's actually advantageous to have this understanding of women are children. Why? Because if you look at yourself as I'm an independent woman and I don't need no man, well, you're going to be out here, and which is the group of women that can stay their asses out here, and we can't do nothing with them, because I do believe in separation. Everybody just can't go. All right. It's going to be, no matter what scenario, it's going to be an 80-20 rule where certain amount of people ain't going to be able to go because they ain't going to act right, or they're going to snitch on other people. There's always going to be some people that are going to ruin the entire other group of people if we all go. So no, they all can't go. There's a certain group of women, they just going to stay out here. Okay. So when it comes to the understanding of women are children, if there was a feeling that, damn, I don't have it all together, I'm not independent, I need a man, I need an authority figure, I need somebody to take care of me, I need somebody to protect me, I need to be under somebody's household. Okay, I understand the women or children thing. I'm going to stop acting like I know everything, and I'm going to focus on submitting to a man, looking to my dad, to my uncle, to my big brother for guidance of finding a man, because another part of women or children is they are inept at being able to find a proper husband type of person. You know, let the typical woman go out and find a man. He's going to be a pookie. He's going to be some crazy dude, some dude on the corner, or some stupid shit. So that's another example of how women are children. It is important to take the choosing of the man, if possible, out of her hands also, because women are children. Me in particular, I tell women on social media, just like the women on my coaching group, and they do it sometimes. If you are dating a guy, period, you are dating a guy, bring him to me. Let me have a conversation with all three, with both of y'all. We just all do a one-on-one or two-on-one or whatever, and we'll just have a conversation, and I'll be able to give you a better understanding of where this man is coming from. Because women, there's a certain part of that I talk about, and I don't want to take up the whole time. There's something called damaged neuroception. When you have a significant amount of childhood trauma, you actually look at life from an opposite angle. And I talked about this before on Lapeef Network. So I don't want to get into that, but you see good and you don't see it good, you see it bad. And then you see bad as good, you know? So a lot of women will see a bad boy and be like, ooh, I like him, he's good. Then she'll see a good man and be like, ooh, I don't like him because he's boring. So there's something called damaged neuroception. So I actually get into this stuff with women and let them know that there's a biological thing that is going on in their brains that happened when their mother, who was also a child. A lot of women grew up in households where they didn't have a mother. They had an older sibling. Their mother was actually their big sister. And their big sister, just like a lot of big sisters do, they shit on their little sister. So it wasn't really a mother-daughter relationship. It was a big sister, little sister relationship because they both were children. So with all that being said, I give women guidance, but I do have a healthy understanding that regardless of the group of people, everybody can't go. There's going to be a group that they don't give a shit. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And that person is going to get shut out. And there's nothing wrong with that because that is simply attrition. That is just the way life is. It happened with Noah's Ark, happened with other situations. Everybody can't go.
Yeah, I totally understand that. What I was referring to is how you dialogue with the individuals, like how you were just conversing with me, right, was pretty mature, right? You didn't raise your voice until the end because you was pretty animated about your point, understood, no disrespect, right? Didn't see none of that, right? Because I handle conversation differently than probably most women, right? I would say I'm just saying there are some women that can have a rational conversation. You feel me? I mean, there are some anomalies out there. That's what I'm saying. And so what I'm saying is, if we are looking for change, and the change comes from us as setting the tone as leaders, and we're communicating with these women, because I would imagine if you're talking to the women, when you come on the panel, when you're yelling, they are fucking children. Like when you go to that point, right? What woman is going to be listening to you if you want them to change? I'm talking about even the most rational woman, I would say, would not be listening to you because you're coming from that perspective. Like, I'm not going to even try to disagree with you as far as the position of that they are children. I'm not coming from that position. I'm coming from the position to make change. And as a communicator and as a leader, I know that I have to speak in a particular way in order to get the result that I want. In the way that I'm talking to you, I could talk to you differently, but why? Because I want to be able to be heard. I want you to be able to understand what I'm saying. I'm making sure that I understand how you communicate so that I can be an effective communicator towards you. And I'm saying the same thing. If we're saying that women are children, why would we talk to them? Like, we would probably yell at our children at times, but that's going to grow old, right? You just said the trauma situation. Like, why would we want to cause more trauma if we know that they are in a traumatic situation? It doesn't really make sense, right? From a logical standpoint, and you're a very logical individual, because based on what you're saying, I agree with most of the things that you're saying. I'm just talking about if we're trying to affect change, we got to talk to them from a different perspective. That's all I'm saying.
All right, hold on. I want to get some other people in there. Go ahead, Shan.
So, Humble Dad, Trill, Rashawn, if you're out there listening, so Kevin Samuels has probably changed the minds of more women in 2 years than we tried to do it the nice way for the last 20. He's probably saved more marriages than we could think of. And I know we can't count that. There's no way to, it's just a feeling. And when you look at how his rise to fame was meteoric and how many people was tapping in and listening to that. He's out there calling women children harder than Ricky ever did. Now, there's going to be the element of those that's like, oh no, I hate that. And the people that celebrated his death and whatnot. But I believe that he was helpful. It's just my personal opinion. No stats. Then he was hurtful. We tried the nice way. I grew up on the nice way. I grew up when women was snapping their neck and snapping their fingers. And the man just like, all right, baby. And look where that got us. School as an example, but what you failed to mention was that children have to go to class. And if they don't go to class, there's a consequence for not going to class and not listening to that instructor who may not be getting through to them, but they still got to go sit their ass down and go to class. Because if they don't, they might get an ass whooping at home. When you use that example and say, well, you know what, if they ain't listening to you, then you are just a bad teacher. What you're doing is it sounds like you're taking accountability off of the people that don't want to listen to the instructor. And saying, well, I guess you're just not a good teacher because you can't get these badass kids to listen to you and they don't even want to be in class. Yeah, there's no repercussion. There's no blowback for not going to school for women when they're in amongst a man who can lead. Also, because he can't get her to lead, he must be a bad leader. How come she can't just be a bad follower? I think a lot of men know how to lead. I personally think that a lot of men can get shit, but how? There's a thing called consent of the governed. You want me to lead? I need followers first. How can a man do anything if you can't find a woman to get behind you? And there's a government to protect her and take care of her and pay her to not listen to you.
Hold on, can you repeat that one part? That was so important. How they are incentivized to be children.
It becomes frustrating because I'm such an advocate for men. It becomes frustrating when I hear it say, well, men ain't got it together. I know we don't, but I don't think that we got to the point where we can't take care of our community and our families. I think that we got enough knowledge to do that. Do we have somebody to be able to be a co-pilot, be a passenger in the car I'm driving, sit in the back seat and wait till I get to my destination without you reaching up trying to grab my steering wheel every turn I make, kicking me in the back of my seat, making me uncomfortable, yelling at me in my ear when I'm trying to listen to traffic, and then turn around and if I say something to you, I'm wrong. If I get mad at you by the way you're behaving as a passenger in this car I'm trying to drive and build at the same time, I'm wrong. We have created a system in America, in the Western world, where they don't even have to listen to you and then can turn around and tell you you don't know nothing when you tried something. Women today, modern laws have allowed them to only follow people that they like. And if they don't like him for whatever reason, he ain't shit. Not that she ain't shit and is not a good follower and that she's not good. I'll get behind a man, but I ain't being submissive, but I need something to submit to. Brothers got something to submit to. But it ain't good enough for me. Why? Because I only make $75,000 and not 120. Why? Because I bought a black Mercedes instead of a white BMW. Why? Because my house is only a 2-bedroom and not a 4. Do not take accountability off of students who are not even pushed to go to class and learn something from men that do have solutions. It can be their fault too. It's not all on men. And I know you guys aren't saying that, but I want this to be, I'm speaking through you brothers, to the people that's listening to me. Consent of the governed. If you don't have to listen to me, then why would you? Why should you? And you're being, like Mr. Let Go says, you're being incentivized not to do so. And you got a whole sisterhood that's over here telling you, girl, you can do it without them. Everything is against us. We fighting an uphill battle. And I didn't even want to speak tonight. Y'all knew that.
I'll tell y'all what, man, just to answer what Shan just said. He said, if you don't have to listen to me, why would you? Because I'm winning and I'm successful. And that's the thing that I think is missing from us. We don't have a system in place. If you look at countries like Taiwan, Japan, Hong Kong, Qatar, whatever, crime rate low as hell. Why is that? Because there's a system implemented that even kids, when you're born, and you understand that's not what we do here. I don't give a damn what you want to do. I don't give a damn what your inclinations are telling you to do. That's not how we move here. And I didn't give the example in terms of the NBA, I mean the NFL before. You would have troubled players like a motherfucker, Chad Johnson, who else? Man, we can go down the line. They go from team to team, acting a damn fool, cheerleading, grabbing pom-poms, getting in trouble off the field, doing all kind of stuff. This is a troubled player. This is a problem child. And then they go to New England, and you don't hear nothing of that. You don't hear from them. Why is that? Because the system,
they'll get their ass beat. In them countries you mentioned, they'll get their ass beat if they don't.
No, it ain't got to do with that. It's if you come in, you buck the system, your ass will be on the street. And on top of the fact that we have a system of success, we have a system of winning. Do you want to get this ring or do you not? Period. Get on board or get off the ship. So in terms of like why they don't follow, and that's why I preach a lot about resume in terms of men, like, because, you know, again, this is a platform, you know, this is a results-oriented platform. My boy JR, you know, this is results-oriented. So when we giving advice, the advice I give to men is go out there and get your resume looking the way it need to look. Why is that? Because it's like Shan said, people don't have to follow you, sure. Just like me, right? I'm not the most outspoken guy. I'm not the most, you know, I'm not the loudest one in the room and none of that, right? But I've been a leader in every aspect of my life. Why? Because when they look at my resume, Win, 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 all the way down the line. Anything I've ever attempted, I've dominated, literally. So my advice to men would be, get your resume together and you won't run into these issues. I ran into a lot of women in my life. Never once have I had a woman try to buck my system or buck the system or try to challenge me in any way in terms of dating or reach for my system. None of that. Why? Because my resume says what it's supposed to say. I have a system of success here. Now, in terms of, are there going to be outliers? Sure. Y'all 1,000% right. That's with everything in life. Even in Taiwan, there's still people that commit crimes. I mean, it's a very low percent, but there's still people that commit crimes. But I think having a system in place is going to shift culture more so than trying to battle with these women. Because you literally have men that are trying to battle with these women with no track record of success. So in terms of leadership, if I'm judging a leader, I don't give a fuck what your tone you use. I don't care nothing about none of that. What is your win-loss record? That's the only thing that matters to anybody that's following anything. So if you want women to follow you, set up a system of success and you'll run into a way less of these issues that I hear on these panels. And I hear from a bunch of disgruntled men. And again, that's not talking to y'all on this panel. Ricky married, Shannon been married. Again, I'm speaking in general. But there's a lot of men out here making demands, using Kevin Samuel's rhetoric and twisting it around to fit my narrative that I'm trying to push. The same way that motherfuckers do with the Bible, to fit my narrative. But you don't have a track record of winning. Address that first. And then we can get to women jumping on your program. And I feel like way more men are concerned with being right in these type of discussions, pulling stats and doing all type of shit, more so than improving this nuclear family unit and setting up a system of success that motherfuckers ain't gonna have a choice but to follow if you want to be on the winning side. That's all I gotta say about that.
I just want to go ahead and tell you, I agree 100% with that ship concept, right? I mean, ultimately the difference when you're dealing with a woman and when you're dealing with a child is a woman gets on that ship by choice. She has a decision to make. You're communicating what the plan is. Like Trill said, the system, even the culture here. Now, do you want to get on board? Because that decision is up to you. One thing I can say is communication style and emotional intelligence have a lot to do with longevity, I think, in any relationship, period. Right? And one of the things that I've witnessed I've tuned in the Crew season, I've tuned in the Ricky show. Let me tell you something. It's not like people call Ricky because they're glutton for punishment. No, they know he's gonna tell the truth. And when they pick up the phone, he gives good energy. He show love the minute he pick up. As soon as they call in, he's showing love. That's the immediate experience. Then he gonna let you talk. Now, if you get the line, he might threaten to, disconnect, but he gonna let you talk, and then he gonna go ahead and give you the truth. See, this is a system. There's a culture. It ain't like, oh, they enemies. No, he's showing love. They knocked on the door, he gave him a hug, he sat him down, he asked them they want something to drink, then they have a real conversation. And sometimes conversations get passionate and they get intense, but it's out of love because he established that at the door. Trill, Crew season, the culture. He's the same cool, collective, calm brother on that show consistently. Women are listening, tapping in, and featuring on these two brothers' shows voluntarily. Obviously, it's a space that they feel safe. It's not a space where they're not going to get the truth. The truth is going to be given, but they feel safe in that space. There's a level of trust, right? There's a level of respect. And obviously they show love when you come through the door. That should go without saying. So that's because that's the real world. Now we can get on there and YouTube and stick our chests out and all that kind of shit, talking to each other all we want, but we're talking about the real world. So I just wanted to add that perspective. I tapped into both of these brothers. I've listened to their podcast, and I noticed the interactions that take place in real man and woman interaction. And it just so happens they both seem to be running a successful marriage. Just wanted to add that.
And that's why I was saying that, or there that many dudes out here that we can say leaders, because I said it in Atlanta. I say, dude, you got to have a plan. Right? Like, that's the system. Like, how many dudes y'all talk to, they literally know what they're doing in the next 5 years. Right? So how can you say you're a leader, but you have no plan, but you want her to get on board with you, and you ain't even the captain of a ship? Right? That's all I'm saying. So when we talk about that women are children, okay, cool. Right? But if you're a leader, then you got to have a plan for these children to be able to follow. And I'm saying most dudes out here that are talking about women won't get on they program, they don't have a plan.
And that's just why I speak so passionately about it, dog. It's not, and again, I'm never one to take blame off of women. Women make mistakes too. Shit, they do a lot wrong, a lot, and I call them on it every time. But in terms of, like, man, it's just so many of us just focused on the wrong shit, just focused on the wrong thing, man. Let's go out here and close this damn gap between us and these other cultures, bro. This is type shit that we should be chasing. This is type shit that we should be linking up and building with, concerning ourselves with that. You literally got niggas on here like spending all these hours on Instagram, liking pictures in the DMs and all shooting they shot, all this shit, and ain't got nothing for this woman to walk into, nothing consistent. So it's like you're gonna do all that to get her, and then when you get her, you're gonna fumble her in terms of a quality woman. I mean, because anybody on this stage could go grab a hoe. That's quick, that's easy. But I'm talking about quality women. There has to be some kind of system in place, and we don't spend enough time at an early enough age trying to develop it. And I'm speaking from personal experience. When I was young, I didn't have a system. And that's why my relationship was struggling early. But luckily, she was patient enough with me to stick around until I developed it. And then it's like, okay, well, now it's, hey, go whatever you say, boo. Whatever you say, baby. Go ahead. But it's so many of us that are just trying to lead. It's so many of us that just feel like we leaders just because we got nuts between our legs.
No.
And we're not, sending our efforts, guiding our efforts and enough energy to go out there and be successful at something. Just something. Go be successful at something. A lot of these niggas don't win at nothing. Not successful at nothing. Literally sit up here and complain all day. Come on YouTube and complain all day. Come on Twitter and complain all day. Get on these panels and complain all day. And not winning at nothing in life. But they got hellified YouTube talking points, though. They got hellified tweets. You look at their real life and it's just like, damn, bro, what? You expect an elite woman to walk into that? Like, that's where your energy should be going to. And if it is there, then cool. You can come on here and say what the hell you want to say. But fact is, most men that do that complaining don't have a system set up. They don't. Motherfuckers just sit there and tell you what they want to do all day long. Oh, yeah, bro, I plan on. Oh, yeah, bro, I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, bro, I'm about to. No receipts. Resume with a bunch of fucking holes in it. Bunch of failed relationships. Bunch of women in their life that just don't respect them at all. Not even, let's take women that dating out the picture. Sisters, cousins, women friends that don't respect you because you ain't successful at shit. Divert that energy towards something productive, and the women are going to fall in line, at least most of them. But, if we, again, man, I don't know. I'm just tired of the same shit, man. Y'all go ahead, though. My bad.
Yeah, I hear you, Trill. And again, much respect to everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and when I said it's not to be condescending. It's like I said, look, man. Like I said, and I said it on the show, man, I don't believe women are that. I try my best not to believe, bro. But whenever I have discussion, and listen to what I'm saying, man. If we want to address Trill's point, man, you should be a man before anything, right? You're supposed to be a man before anything, bro. Like I said, you got to give your woman something to believe in, bro. If you ain't doing shit, she ain't gonna be shit. You see what I'm saying? That's just the facts. She gonna live up to the level that you provide, right? But like I said, man, it's like, bruh, it's like the people y'all supposed to listen to, y'all got deaf ears to, dog. The people y'all supposed to listen to, the people who got, just like what you said, got a track record of success. Y'all look at them as lame. Y'all, oh, you off the market. You ain't been out here, da-da-da-da, man. Like, ain't nobody got no reason to lie to y'all, doggy. I don't gain one thing from lying to y'all, bro. All I'm trying to do is help y'all avoid the mistakes that were made. Wisdom, a wise person learns from other people's experiences, not going to touch the stove. Your mama told you the stove was hot if you was just believed her. Your daddy told you the stove was hot if you'd have just believed him. You'd have never burnt your hand. Right? We on this platform every week, exposing ourselves, being vulnerable in moments, doing shit, and then y'all go back to the same shit. Y'all go back to the same shit. And I'm just gonna be honest, men, you know what I'm saying? If you and I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again, y'all need to listen.
Did you hear what I said?
As a man, if everything's so checked out, if you got all the boxes checked, your mental state on point, your house, check, your car, check, career, check, your physical, check. Why you ain't got no good woman, dog? Ladies, you all that. Hey, you emotionally available. You take care of your man. Check. You submissive. Check. You a mother. You got motherly qualities. Check. Why you ain't got no man? Y'all okay with dying alone? Let me say it again. Are you okay with dying alone? I'm definitely about results, bro. And I understand some people make big leaps, but as long as you making small steps forward, at least you not in a place you was yesterday, bro. I said as a simple fact, I'm accountable for my wife for everything. I chose her. And as a man, you're supposed to be positioning yourself to prepare for any eventuality that might come from having a woman. That's marriage 101. That's relationship 101. But for y'all to simply keep using these people, these celebrities, these so-called influencers and stuff who don't have a track record of success, who you see publicly, right, fail in relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship, but yet y'all preach to us who they with today like it's the gospel, then we're talking for absolutely nothing. The message is the same no matter who says it, no matter whose mouth it comes out of, or how you think it sounds. The message is the same. Get your shit together. Because contrary to the popular belief, the numbers ain't growing. And seeing how things are being put in place, not just between us, the shit we do as people to get farther away from each other, the government and everybody else is putting shit into your business to make sure people, men and women, ain't making babies. I'm not no genius. I'm broke, baby. I'm more average than any one of y'all in here, but I make it work. You know why? Because I define my reality. Not society, not celebrities, me. Oh, you can't run no house. Oh, you gotta have 2 kids. No, you don't. You got to get a person that's willing to rock with you, that fuck with you for real, that's willing to understand, hey, my man is doing the best he can for me. But that don't mean I sit on my laurels and not try to make shit happen. I'm always trying something different, and fuck it. If I fail, I fail, but at least I tried it. We supposed to be men and women out here. So the same way I got to prove to you every day, 365 days I'm a year, y'all need to start proving y'all women too. I'll let go of the mic.
One thing I keep hearing, show after show after show, is about that plan. And that's because I think that's one thing we all agree on. That plan, you got to believe in that plan with such conviction that if you got a woman that don't believe in that plan, it's time for her to go. At the end of the day, because she got to buy into that plan in order for you to lead. A man is going to be harder on himself than anybody else. Some brothers can relate to the fact of being so hard on yourself that it's hard for you to even celebrate a win. You never get comfortable. And so if she ain't rocking with you to the extent where she has full faith and certainty in this plan that you communicate, then that's not the one. You shouldn't have to convince her, beg her to get on this ship. That ain't the one for you then. See, this leadership thing, when you got the right, when you leading the right soldiers, this leadership thing ain't you gotta convince and coax and lie and you got to do all that. Not when you got the right ones. And look, respect come with that. Because some of the childlike behavior that I've been talking about sound like a lot of brothers is getting disrespected. That's another thing. Right? So at the end of the day, we got to really, 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 really believe in this plan. If you ain't got one, you're fucking up. We got to believe in it. And then the right one is going to be right here. She's going to be right here. We sitting here trying to let me teach you how to talk to me, believe in me, respect me, be Lord. No. See, it said when you found a wife, you found a good thing. That's it. When you found a wife, it didn't say when you found a female. It's when you found a wife. So if you already got it up here, what that is, and you have a plan, and you need the wife in that plan. I know we got this narrative, oh, I don't need a woman, nonsense. Men that have a wife understands what value she brings to this operation. And she understands that she needs her husband to lead in order for this thing to work. Right? You have an understanding. You agreed. He told you the plan before you got on the ship. Remember, it was communicated. And we got to get there. That's it. And so when we think about these things, maybe we working on the wrong women. Right? Maybe we're working on the wrong women. And maybe there's something faulty about our plan. And maybe we also ain't looking in the mirror as much as we need to. Because if I'm looking in the mirror, I know what I am. Man, if I got this plan and I believe in this plan with conviction, listen, I'm going to die about this plan. Oh, and now I got my woman and I got my kids. Please. You can't separate me from what it will require in order to lead to where I said we going. See, to me, that's a man. See, because during that storm, you gonna get beat up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get beat up a lot. you're going to have to get up sometime. And see, people think that you should be respecting the people who brag and boast about all these successes. If you ain't never seen a motherfucker fall down and have to get up, you don't really, really know what he's made of. See, your wife is there through all of that, and she still believes in you. You have to convince her she knows what you are. And if you forget what you are, she can remind you of what you are. That's the one that you want. She sees that greatness in you. We trying to give equal accountability on this show from the standpoint of it's not just we addressing what's wrong with women, but we also saying, listen, this is how we can be better men. So anybody who think that's what we're doing, you're wrong. We showed that tonight, I feel. I'll let go of the mic.
All right. We get through the super chats, Ricky.
BZ, what's good, my boy? Salute Kings. Hey, Trill, you need to tell Smooth he need an HBO stand-up comedy special. He was straight clown and broke ninjas on the last pod.
Shout out to bro, man. Smooth with damn fool, man.
Ebo Sosa, my guy. What's good, Ebon? He said this is why they say women and children first when a ship is sinking. Uncle Luke, he said, get them red pill. I don't believe in red pill, bro. Women are definitely like children. I don't believe in that red pill shit, man. I'm just being honest with y'all. Shelton Ward, it's crazy how we're supposed to treat our women better than their fathers, yet they down the men who adore their moms. Ain't that the same comparison? Spencer Campbell with the 20 ball. Salute to the panel. Appreciate you, bro. Uncle Luke, 1980s cook, Rick. The service US LLC. US, $5. Okay. Thanks for your service. Shelton Ward, but why are they scared to call in your show, Ricky? I don't know. That's a great question. Joanna Washington, 20 ball. Exactly, a humble dad. Where are our leaders? I said this to the same panel 3 months ago. Adam, we're out there.
It was just a question from Crimson.
Yeah, she said, I have a question now. Are the men wanting the women to stop having a childlike aspect to their nature and behavior? No. I want you to admit it.
Yeah, as long as they admit it, we good.
I want you to admit it because at that point, it changes the conversation.
We can protect y'all then.
Right. At that point, there's no argument. Why everything got to be a goddamn argument? You see what I'm saying? And again, this ain't me. This ain't let me tell you, my house is cool, bro. My house is cool as fuck, bro. No disrespect to nobody crib. This is what the women that come and converse with me tell me. I'm talking to them. Trigger Mike, what's good, my boy? He said, even the world's best CEOs find it extremely difficult to change a toxic work culture. The women of this culture are toxic. We can't save them. They've made their choices. Protect yours. That's it. Grizz Treats. These women understand these very concepts. They tell you they can't for the white man at a job. Ricky is spitting is just an excuse to be greedy. Joanna Washington, child development stops at the age of any trauma. Both men and women are stunted due to childhood traumas, right? So whose responsibility is it to get past those traumas? Congo English, she said, Mr. Let Go, you make some great points. Congo English, please, Shannon. Thank you, Mr. Let Go. Uncle Luke again, they only submit under conditions, never unconditional submission. They won't listen because the liberals and woke feminists, brainwash them. G Firm, I like Humble Dad, but he's saying things that would make Cynthia G blush. Congo English again, appreciate you, bro. Shannon, keep going, bro. You and Mr. Let Go, get it. Joanna Washington, thank you at Trill AC. Do the work first, then she will follow. Most men, not all, have no resume of work or a winning system. Even if I ain't gonna even say nothing. Congo English again, what's up? He said Trill is the peanut butter foundation to Mr. Let Go jelly disposition. Shannon added the wheat bread, the debut. Key ingredients, love it. Ms. Parker, she said children will test your leadership and authority. A child will submit and obey knowing that you have passed their shit test. Well, the same applies. Shout out to Ms. Parker. Joanna Washington, $10 again. She said, I'm extremely proud of these men willing to have this important conversation, each in his own way. God bless you all. Dr. Hound, your leader is in the mirror. Bravo Tech, big money. Cook, gentleman, Cook.
Ricky said he got some money.
Money. I got money.
Make sure.
Yeah, that was all on, bro.
All right. Appreciate all the super chats that has come through. Make sure you guys follow these guys on the individual platforms. Hit the like button on your way out. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Great conversation, gentlemen. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Just stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe and see what's in tune for tomorrow. Make sure y'all catch Ricky Williams too on Friday. Make sure y'all call in, man. Be ready to call in on Friday, y'all.
Hey man, why they be so scared, man? I was Ricky, I was in the city when I tapped into your show Friday. I'm at Leaders picking up some stuff. I'm like, man, why ain't nobody calling in?
I don't know, bro.
And it ain't even like a smoke show. It's conversation, rule of nation.
It said, let's hear one plan y'all suggest. Give solutions. As far as what, DJ Khaled? What you ask?
Hold on. Let me help him out. Build better men.
There you go.
Nah, that ain't a plan.
That is a plan.
I mean, I really want to answer the question, to be honest. If he gives some context.
A plan. You know, he's saying that men are supposed to have a plan and have a program and everybody jump on it. You know, or if you're speaking on Humble Dad's point when he was using it earlier, you know, what instead of us just out there screaming in women's faces, you a child. Well, okay, now that we got past that, now what do you want women to do?
Oh, I hear you.
I even throw this one out there. The 5 F's. Humble Dad. Remember we was texting about a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, whatever. The 5 F's is a start. You know, you can tell women, listen, okay, here's a plan. Become fit, feminine, friendly, faithful, and fun. Let's start with the fit part. But you can't even get them to put down a macaroni and cheese.
No,
they won't even join the gym. A plan, get a gym membership.
Shan, I think
he was saying
I think he's talking about like young brothers. He was saying, y'all, we talking about men needing to have a plan.
I mean, to me, right? Like, okay, we could take the best of times and we could take the worst of times. I'm an in-between guy, right? The truth of the matter is, right? Look, bro, even if you get on your grizzly, right? Everybody not gonna be no 6-figure nigga. Right? You not, but at a minimum, you need to get your basics together, my guy. That's transportation, shelter, life insurance, medical insurance, right? Have some type of foundation set. For one, and I'll explain, right? For one, if you got your own shit, you ain't got to worry about moving into no woman shit. Stop moving into women's houses, bro.
Say that again. That's crazy.
Stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? You establish your own. You never move into a woman's house. You move her into your home. Right? 2, stop chasing women that's not for you, dog. Right? If you out here hoeing, bro, leave the good girls alone. Stop acting like y'all don't know what good girls and bad girls is. The same way women keep saying y'all try to play like y'all don't know who the bad dudes and the good dudes is. Right? I have yet to see a bad dude put a mask on. I ain't never seen it. The bad dudes, they just rock. Yeah, man, I told her I tried. She know what it is. I was hollering at her friend. Right? So the same way they know what bad dudes and good dudes is the same way you know that good girls and bad girls is, bro. If you out here and you're not trying to settle down, bro, leave these good girls alone, dog. Right? But if you trying to settle down, man, when you meet a good girl, have a plan in place, right? Even if you're young and you ain't got it together, at least be started on your way and be transparent in that. Right? Because I say this all the time, when y'all young, if y'all get together young, bro, y'all don't get that baggage that y'all get on y'all from being out there dealing with so many other people. You guys build your impression within yourself, but y'all got to understand this ain't no goddamn go, yellow brick road, no rainbows and fucking pot of golds and shit. A relationship take work from both of y'all. Look at a relationship as you guys both being employed to each other. You got to show your ass up to work every day. Every day. And that way y'all can build together, bro, and y'all can, again, invest in each other. That's the plan. But again, like I said, what everybody do is y'all out here dipping and dabbing with so many people. By the time you get to the point where you finally get in your mind and your hormones kick in, and then that survival instinct start kicking in, right? Oh man, it's time for me to chill out. I want some kids. You done got standards set too goddamn high that can't nobody meet. You done got so much baggage on you that you can't release it because you don't want to go to therapy. You don't want to talk about it. And let alone you ain't ready to admit to yourself that the truth is that you really a fucked up individual and that you need work. Right? Be intentional in your life. Be intentional in your life. But that takes too much responsibility though. Right? That take too much accountability, right? When you moving with a certain step and something failed, you can't look at nobody else and say, "Oh man, that was them." Because this is your plan. It's your plan. It's not nobody else's. It's yours. But what the fuck do I know?
Ricky, real quick though. So King Rio said that plan is the thing. He put that at the top of his last talking point. The plan. Brothers get a plan. But then you just mentioned about the homosexuals. You talk about, don't move into a woman's house. But here's the thing, and Ricky, maybe you can explain this, or maybe you can explain it, Trill, or even King Rio. What happens when the brothers is out there running into women with their own plans? See, today, women have their own plans. And so if King Rio is saying the plan is the pinnacle, brothers, get your plan, get your program together, get your shit together, know what you want to do. But women are being told, ladies, fuck his plan. Get your shit together, get your plan together, get your program together, you are the prize. In fact, you set the goal and get the house and move him into your spot. There's a conflict there, guys. How does that get solved?
So one of the things I'm thinking about when I think about this plan and I think about what you just said, Shan, I think just from living life a little bit, we start to figure out what we could do the right way or what we could have done the right way. So for instance, if you plan to have a family, what are the basic shelter? Okay, so you need to work a decent job, or maybe 2, maybe 3, in order to have enough income to be able to support not only yourself, but a family if you were to grow one, meet a wife and you were to grow one. So what does that mean? Okay, we need to be approved for a mortgage. You need to have a good credit card. You need to have money in your savings. You need to be able to stock your refrigerator with healthy food. You need to have that gym membership like you mentioned, right? Because if you live in a healthy lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, that's probably what you're going to be attracted to and what you're going to attract, right? So if we can get our oars in the water 9 times out of 10, and we focused on that, we're not going to be chasing too many hoes to begin with, right? We ain't chasing hoes. Right. But we're going to attract people that fit into that lifestyle, into that plan. So if I don't know what the brother's name, but if DJ, what was the guy? JR, DJ Cadillac, if he's a DJ, he knows exactly how much he's bringing in from being a DJ. Now, when the time comes time to apply for that mortgage, is it enough or is it not? So do we need to pick up another job? Think about having the things that you need already, so that we can avoid what you're saying, Shan. I think sometimes we end up there because we've had a misstep. We didn't plan, right? But if we already start establishing some of these things, even when you buy that house, you're thinking about, is it going to be in a good school district, right? Because you don't necessarily want something in a place that, well, listen, the other houses are bringing your value down and there's crime and all those other different type of things. And you also want to be thinking about, where do you want your kids to go to school? You know what I mean? In the future. So just like logically trying to think through some of these things, if those things are important to you. Some people don't even want kids. I don't know, but these are some of the things that I think about for mine. You know what I mean? So I think if you lived a little, and you're willing to take heed to other people who lived a lot, then you can start to put that plan together. But I don't think that we should be finding that later if we plan to have success for these upcoming generations. I think we should almost give them, listen, this is the roadmap now. You could take it or leave it. You know what I mean? And you could listen and you can adjust it and you do whatever you need to do to make it your own. But I'm telling you that this is what's been required for me.
All right. And it's been a great show, man. I think we're gonna go ahead and end on that note. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Great discussion.
Hey, hey, JR, let them know if y'all want to overtime it, I can go ahead and launch it on my channel.
Oh, yeah. You want to go ahead and set it up?
Yeah, I'll set it up.
All right. We're going to do the after hours over there on Ricky Williams' channel. So stay tuned right here. We're about to drop the link shortly. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I'm going to go ahead and put the screen up so some of you guys can get up out of here. But stay tuned. Stay locked in. I'm going to drop the link shortly.
Body. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing they discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. All my eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil, the run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through, hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, trying to let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story, condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bring it, condoms coming. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power, flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power, flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power, flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power, flipping.
Guys, head over there to Ricky Williams' channel. If you're still over here, I'll be dropping the link shortly. Thanks, Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker's got you dropping the link to Ricky Williams' channel. So make sure you guys head over there and stand by. That live stream is being set up right now. After hours is at Ricky Williams' channel. That link. Here we go. I got the link, y'all. I got the link. About to drop that link, y'all. All right, that's the link right there, y'all. Just got through dropping the link. Head over to Ricky Williams' channel right now. Live stream starting shortly. Make sure you guys head over there to Ricky Williams' channel. That's where the live stream is at. I just got through dropping the link. The after show is at Ricky Williams' channel. Make sure you guys head over there. I'll keep dropping it periodically. This is the last track, y'all. This is the last track. Yo, appreciate the support. The like button on your way out. After show is at Ricky Williams' channel. I'm dropping the link right now. Everybody head over there. Appreciate you, Big Bad Boy. Big Bad Boy also just dropped the link after party, Ricky Williams' channel. Just head over there, y'all. Salute to y'all. It's the last track. Last track, y'all. Head over to Ricky Williams' channel. Just dropped the link. That link is on fire right now. Head over to Ricky Williams' channel. That's where the after party is, y'all. Just got to drop in the link. It's the last track.